step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Yes, sir. Today could be, and ma'ams, sorry, ma'ams,
thank you.
today could be the best day of your life. The most meaningful, you just don't know it yet. We'll help you on your way. A very good morning. My name is Graham Richards.
And I'm Zoe Brown. Good morning.
And I'm Jamie Domberg. A very good morning to you on this Thursday, Klein Vrydag. It's a full house today. Everybody's here.
Yeah, amper.
Almost everyone's
Yeah,
here,
man.
but I think
Family vibes today.
it is family vibes. And speaking of family, I think now is probably the good time to announce some special news.
Who's going to go? Are you going to tell them, G?
I think you
I'm
should
so
tell them.
excited. One of our very own. We love him. He is part of our family, undoubtedly. Our very own Grant Hines is going to be a Papa Bear.
I love it when you call me Big Papa.
Look at that little bean. Look at it.
I think the daddy needs to come and join us on
man.
camera.
So Amble and Grant are going to be parents. Congratulations, my brother.
Thank you.
We love you, man. We love you even more now that you're going to be a dad.
Guys, it's the easiest thing to do. We weren't planning on having a kid. Literally,
Yeah.
like over a month ago, we were unfortunately diagnosed with COVID. My symptoms went away. Like I got really sick. Guys, please get vaccinated. It's a terrible experience. But her symptoms just stayed. We thought she had stomach flu.
So
and
the
I've
fatigue
never had a kid
stayed,
before.
The nausea stayed.
So Zoe called it. I was like, man, it's bad. You know, she's just vomiting 8 times a day.
There's always that one person. There's always that one. Like,
Dude, she's
have you gone for a little test?
Yeah, and then we went to the doctor eventually because we got an appointment, and the doctor was like, take this home. You know, check it out. And we're like, nah, never. She's not pregnant.
Wow.
And then we had like multiple tests, and we're like, oh wow, this is really happening. So that was only like a couple of weeks ago. We've just gone for the scan, and it's an incredible feeling.
Oh man! Well, here's wishing you a very healthy next phase. You mentally, her physically, and mentally and emotionally.
Yeah. For her, for me, the first trimester is it's terrible for
You
a
just
woman.
keep easing her pain, man. You do whatever you have to do, but we love you, man.
I have the perfect gender reveal idea. You color your hair.
I'm not doing
will do
gender
that.
reveal. Those are dumb.
We're going to see that on the show.
It's going to happen, and it's going to involve your hair. But you can understand why we are so excited this morning. And yes, the whole fam is here. The gents are looking almost too dapper. It's
Very
gonna make
dapper
it difficult for
today.
me this morning. My two bays are looking so good.
That's right. How are you doing? Also, Grant and Zaddy. Yes! Oh, that's beautiful. It really is. But,
Family's growing, Cole.
yes.
Crazy.
This is the best thing ever. And I just hope you're doing fantastic today. This lovely guy is Ryle. Ryle's next.
I'm hearing them shouting up next. I'm practicing with Hawken though, but it's going to take some time. And speaking of,
Yes.
that's actually the question of this morning. I mean, not all of us have been blessed with babies, but we do have some sort of animal furry, furball friends. And we're asking the question in the morning about what is your pet's, why is your pet the best, basically? It's as simple as that. Cole, you have any pets?
I have about 4 pets. I have Boston Terriers, so
Okay.
yeah. So
All right.
Chester, Champagne,
Why are
Chili,
they
and
the best,
Chardonnay.
Paul?
They're the best because they understand me. They're super loyal, but more importantly, they understand my moods, man. So when I want to lay, they lay. When I want to play, they play.
They just get you.
They understand me. They're like coded into me, and that's why they're the best. And I love them so much, and they're crazy, and they eat my furniture, but I still love them.
Yeah, but let us know on our social medias, of course. We want to chat to you about your pets, your furry furballs, and find out why they are the best and why they're best suited for you. But before we get into all the good stuff this morning, let's first find out and kick it off with the news and see what Jamie Lee has to offer.
Well, it's 4 minutes past 6 o'clock, time to have a first look at those news headlines. Starting with your national news. Now, the acting minister in the presidency, Khumbudzo Ntshavheni, says the government is planning on expanding the COVID vaccination rollout to another age group as the third wave increases. Now, workplace vaccinations, she added, were also opened beyond the current permitted age groups as part of the rollout, but only for employees of relevant sectors. Meanwhile, the Western Cape's latest mega vaccination centre opened yesterday. It's hoped to inoculate some 4,000 people a day at the Cape Town International Convention Centre. An even larger site will open soon at Athlone Stadium. And then Rand Water yesterday said it was still unclear when the Palmeat Booster pumping station in Alberton, south of Johannesburg, will be fully operational. Now, this follows an explosion there on Sunday. The municipalities that have been affected are the city of Johannesburg, Tshwane and Ekurhuleni. Rand Water spokesperson Justice Mohale said it was up to the technical team and engineers to say, and I quote, "We have completed the job." Now, the city of Tshwane dispatched extra water tankers to areas experiencing shortages during the past days. And then looking to news further abroad, Kenya's tourism ministry says it was not consulted about a plan by a UK charity to relocate 13 elephants to the country. Now, the elephants are currently in an animal park in Kent, southeast of England. The animal conservation group, the Aspinall Foundation, plans to fly the creatures to southern Kenya and reintroduce them to the wild. Kenya's tourism ministry said it was concerned about the issue, but the relocation and rehabilitation of an animal from a zoo is not easy and is an expensive undertaking. And then the Taliban briefly entered a key city in western Afghanistan yesterday in a rapid advance as the US and its allies are withdrawing. Now, the local governor said government officials had been moved to a nearby army base as the militants advanced towards the center of Kala-i-Noor. However, local officials later said the Taliban were dislodged from government buildings and troops had cleared most of the city. Now, before the apparent turnaround, the Taliban had moved on the city's prison and freed some 400 inmates, including more than 100 of its fighters. And now some news, some feel-good news for everybody. Algoa Bay in the eastern province has acquired new status, which puts it alongside Hervey Bay in Australia, Tenerife La Gomera Marine Area in Tenerife, Spain, and Dana Point in California in the US. Now, with its large populations of whale and other cetacean populations, it joins the Bluff in Durban as one of the country's 2 globally recognized whale watching sites. South Africa now has 2 of the 4 recognized whale heritage sites accredited by the World Cetacean Alliance. Algoa Bay is known for its southern right humpback, brides, and killer whale species, and is also the bottlenose dolphin capital of the world. Now, moreover, common dolphins and Cape fur seals are frequently spotted in the bay. Cetaceans are an aquatic order of mammals comprising of whales, dolphins, and porpoises. Now, in 2011, Algoa Bay was declared an important bird and diversity area due to its large populations of the African penguin, which are now unfortunately endangered. On that note, that is where I leave your 6 o'clock news headlines. Here's a first look at the sports. Here's G.
Thanks so much, Jamie. Let's start with the bad news first. And rugby, I think the writing was on the wall, but SA Rugby yesterday confirmed that the scheduled second test match between the Springboks and Georgia has now been cancelled due to positive COVID-19 cases in both camps. A review by the Medical Advisory Group confirmed that the risk of further infections made it impossible to continue with the fixture tomorrow evening. 12 positive tests in the Bok camp have been recorded, with 4 in the Georgian camp as well. And then on to the rugby that did happen last night. The British and Irish Lions have made it 2 wins in 2 matches. That was after thrashing the Sharks 54-7 in their second Lions series clash in Johannesburg last night. Lions head coach Warren Gatland made 8 late changes because of players isolating due to the coronavirus. The visitors scored 8 tries, with wing Duan van der Merwe and fullback Josh Adams each scoring a hat-trick to seal their second victory. And staying with rugby, the Griquas, they've been building towards a big scalp for a while. They stunned Western Province 30-28 to secure their second win in the new Currie Cup campaign at Cape Town Stadium yesterday. Griquas lock Cameron Lindsay scored a try in injury time to level the scores before fly half George Whitehead. He dealt with the pressure, kicking the match-winning conversion for the men from the Northern Cape. The Currie Cup action will continue with a mouth-watering clash of the Big Cats, the Cheetahs and the Pumas will encounter each other at 4 p.m. Then the big one, England will face Italy in the Euro 2020 final. That was after the Three Lions beat Denmark in extra time in their semi-final clash at a packed Wembley Stadium last night. So after a 1-1 draw at 90 minutes of play, the match went into extra time with England's captain Harry Kane scoring the winner from the penalty spot after Raheem Sterling, who had been dangerous the whole night, was brought down in the box. The European Championship final between the Three Lions and the Azzurri will kick off at 9 p.m. on this Sunday evening. Then staying in the UK, but back onto a different kind of grass, reigning champion Novak Djokovic reached the Wimbledon semi-finals for a 10th time in his career after beating Hungary's Martin Fucsovics in the last 8. The 34-year-old Serb recorded an impressive straight sets victory, 6-3, 6-4, 6-4 to advance, and now Djokovic will face 10th seed Denis Shapovalov for a place in the final tomorrow. And a massive shock. Roger Federer's bid for a 9th Wimbledon title came to an end after crashing out of the tournament. Hubert Hurkacz from Poland stunned Federer, actually demolished him in straight sets, playing the match of his life, 6-3, 7-6, 6-love to book his place in the semis. And that's where we leave our sport for now. Let's get our first take on our Thursday morning weather.
Thank you, Graham. And once again, it's time for brollies and winter woolies as another cold front is set to hit the Western Cape today. A yellow level 2 warning has been issued as the approaching front will bring about some gale force winds and heavy rain. The City of Cape Town Disaster Risk Management Services said yesterday they are ready to tackle any damage to infrastructure and assist vulnerable communities that may once again be affected by the adverse winter weather that's forecast. Disruptive rainfall and damaging winds are expected in mid-morning. High-sided vehicles that are on prone routes in the interiors of the Northern and Western Cape are warned of gale force winds. A similar warning for wind resulting in difficulty in navigating at sea is expected between Cape Columbine and Cape Agulhas tomorrow morning, spreading to Plettenberg Bay by the afternoon. And as many of our regular viewers have seen, we are highlighting different international cities on a Friday to learn about different languages and cultures. So for this Friday, tomorrow, we are journeying to Ethiopia. With that being said, we would like to make a call to any of our viewers that are based there or have even visited the country. We would love to see any pictures of the country that you might have and willing to share with us. And please do so if you are willing to. You can do it on the Expresso Facebook page. And who knows, you can just see your photo featured tomorrow. And then bringing it back to South Africa, we do have some sunrise views that we'd love to share with you this morning. We're starting off with this Thursday with a look from a moody and misty morning that Koen Mans shared with us. And this is from Vredefort Dome Heritage Site in Potchefstroom. And then heading to the coast, Gregory Noble from Pakhalsdorp in George shared this crisp winter morning overlooking the mountains in the distance as the sun rises. Absolutely amazing. Now, please do continue to share those sunrise photos with us. Head on over to the Expresso Facebook page and don't forget to also include where you live or if you have visited anywhere in Ethiopia, and please share those photos with us too. Let's look at your temperatures for this morning. If you're in Polokwane, expect a low of 5, a high of 20. Mbombela, sunny with a low of 10, a high of 25. Pretoria is 6-19. Johannesburg 7-17. Mahikeng 4, reaching a high of 22. Partly cloudy conditions in Klerksdorp today, a low of 4, a high of 21. Kimberley 3-22, Bloemfontein 1 with a high of 21, Richards Bay 15 with a high of 24, Pietermaritzburg 8 reaching a high of 26. Sunny in Durban, 16 is your low, 25 your high. Mthatha 8 with a high of 27. A warm day for East London, a low of 12, a high of 31. Cradock 3 reaching a high of 27. Gqeberha also enjoying a sunny day with a high of 31. George 8 reaching a high of 24. Rain is expected in Cape Town today, a low of 11 with a high of 14. Worcester 9 reaching a high of 15. Sutherland expects strong winds starting off with a low of -1 and a high of 13 for today. And if you're in Uppington, a hot and sunny day ahead with a high of 29 degrees Celsius. That's where I leave your weather for now. Another update coming your way at 7 o'clock.
Thank you so much, Zozo. Let's inspire you right now. I think the most inspiring part of promoting a reading culture here in South Africa is that many parents and caregivers are already reading and telling stories to their children. And I love the fact that we are striving towards literacy.
So true, G. But here's the thing. What happens when your reading materials are available, but they're not available in your own home languages? And that's what we're about to sort out right now, because it's a big problem in Mzansi. I think when it comes to our cultural connection, when it comes to just learning in your native tongue, why is that not an option?
Only 2% of our children have access to reading material in their own language.
Now, of course, you at home can play a part in building a nation of powerful African language readers and storytellers with Cadbury Dairy Milk's current hashtag In Our Own Words campaign. All you have to do is help translate a word. So to get you started this morning, we are kicking off with a word. Are you ready for it?
Yeah, what is it?
Dog.
Dog.
Okay.
So tell us what this word is when translated into your home language.
Dog.
Dog.
Did you say dog? Are you from Brooklyn?
Are you
You're from Boston.
New Jersey?
Dog.
Are you the one? You're good.
Dog.
Oh, I love that.
That's your-
Is Afrikaans?
That's your judge back.
It's hond, right?
Hond.
Yes.
I'm always not always a bit
That's
rusty.
what we meant.
That's it, yeah.
Or hoinkie is a small
Das, eh?
Klein.
Hey, is baie
Xhosa is
good.
Inja. There's one there. Inja, Xhosa. Hond there, Afrikaans we covered. I think
nice.
in Tsonga as well, there is another translation. Mbiana.
Mbiana.
Ah, my beautiful
Mbiana.
Mbiana and I are going
Yes.
into the mountain this afternoon.
Exactly.
Hope
I
that
might
works.
just eat a banana while with my Mbiana. It
Why
would work.
banana?
I don't know, just it felt right. That's all.
Rolled off the tongue.
While for potassium, okay,
Thank you.
for sustained energy. I mean, I should not have to be telling these things, but
Well played, G. Well played.
But really, it's such a beautiful thing, and I'm learning so much about our beautiful languages. We have so many of them to learn, and I think this is the best way that we can actually promote people actually sharing the words and creating stories.
I can't wait to get my hands on one of these books that has been created as a part of this entire library that we are doing. And we want you, please, to help us ensure that all children can enjoy enchanting African language tales in their own language. And all you have to do is translate just one word and help us co-author a library of African language children's storybooks. Hashtag in our own words. But you can visit cadbury.co.za and at Cadbury Dairy Milk SA on Facebook, or at Cadbury_SA on Twitter and Instagram. And you can just start translating, sharing, and having a little bit of fun.
Mbiana.
That's right. What's up, Diana?
Walk.
Only you can make my day.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked on this beautiful Thursday morning. If you needed yet another reason to be inspired to be South African, we're going to give it to you right now. The 2020 Tokyo Olympics will, of course, be taking place from the 23rd of July to the 8th of August in 2021. We know this. And for the first time ever, a women's water polo team from South Africa will be heading to the global showpiece. I'm going to give it a round of applause right now because that is amazing.
A big round of
Oh, we
applause.
love seeing our national teams in action on the biggest stage of all. And as we wait in anticipation for the games to kick off, we thought we'd catch up with some of those teams who are going to be heading to Japan with the pressure of the nation on their shoulders. And this morning, South African water polo athletes Kelsey White and ladies head coach Delane Mentor join us via video call to chat about the upcoming Olympics. Welcome, Kelsey. Welcome, Delane. Very good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning. Firstly, congratulations on your massive achievement of making it to the Olympics. I think a big question is, has any of it sunken in yet?
It's been a huge week of a lot of admin and a lot of that kind of logistics to get going. But we officially received our tickets and our admission, our Tokyo admission yesterday. So it made it quite real. And it's really just so overwhelming and exciting.
It must be crazy because the biggest part of this adventure, this journey, this challenge is still in front of you, yet you've had to do so much just to get there. Talk us through the 2020 Tokyo Olympic qualification process. How were you guys able to achieve this as the first women's team to be able to do this in the history of our country? Delane, maybe you want to take that one.
Oh, sure. So we are the qualifying country in the African continent, just based off COVID, and we were unable to compete and whatever else, but because of where we placed and the international tournaments that we do play, we qualified for the African continent. So that's how we went through. And the preparation has been it has been long. It has been a year and a half of really hard work, and really only getting into the pool about 8 months ago. So it's been an incredible journey.
But that's great. That's validation for putting in all the hard work when no one's watching, when you don't even know that it's going to count. So congratulations on that. That's brilliant.
And it will certainly pay off. I mean, Kelsey, you've been playing water polo for most of your life, and this must be a dream come true for you to head on over to the Olympics. How are you managing, the pressure of the Olympic Games? Are you allowing that to get to you?
Yes, like you said, I've been playing water polo for quite some time now, for 18 years. So the wait is finally over. And I think, having played quite a lot on the national team at a high level, I hope that the pressure won't get to me too much. We have some youngsters on the team, so it'll be quite overwhelming for them. So I'm glad that I can be part of a team like this amongst some other seniors in the team to just help with those jitters and of how overwhelming it can become, and just to focus on what we're there to do. But I think I work well under pressure, so let's hope for the best with that.
Yeah, you've grown up with the BMT. You know no other way, which is absolutely awesome. And the nice thing about young players is they don't know how good they actually are or what their limitations are. So you want to tap into that potential. So having the balance of youth and experience is brilliant. And we're so excited about that. I would imagine things have ramped up dramatically, or have they? How do you approach your training in this final build-up phase to the games in Japan? Is it more of the same thing, or do you kind of change your approach? How are you approaching the fine-tuning heading into the tournament?
Well, our coaching staff have been amazing at communicating with us about what they expect week to week and programs that we need to do. So within our provinces, we're training in a bubble, and we're just maintaining, the fundamentals of the game. There are some limitations due to COVID of what we can and can't do. So in terms of fixtures and games and all of that, so we are just training within our bubbles and just going through the fundamentals of what we've been doing at our national camps over the past 8 months, and going over that and practice makes perfect, right?
It does make it perfect. I think the big question to ask now is, when do you guys officially leave?
So we officially leave on the 15th of July, so next week. Yeah.
Wow.
So if your question earlier about is it sinking in yet? I think it has to. Yeah.
That is crazy, man. Well, Delane, I'm guessing your Instagram account is the one we need to follow to stay updated. We really will stay connected with you. We might ask you to do a video call or two while you're that side, because you have the whole nation's hopes and dreams resting on your shoulders right now. No, there's no pressure.
Support too.
Yeah, man. We are behind you 100%. You give us a massive reason to be inspired this morning and every day, and we're sending you nothing but luck and love and enjoyment. Enjoy the platform once you finally have this. But all the best, ladies. We really are behind you 100%.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. The support is amazing. Thank you so much.
There we go. The ladies from the South African water polo team heading to the Olympics. They leave next week, and we are wishing them all of the best of luck. And of course, we'll keep you updated with all things when it comes to the Olympics taking place later this month.
Oh, how exciting. Imagine in the next few days going and living out your dream with that beautiful vessel that you've been working so long to get into the primest shape of your life.
But you can see that there's so much pressure on them right now, but they're also so excited to be taking on this new journey and representing South Africa on an international level. That's amazing.
It really is. Now, look, water polo is a sport that requires strong swimming skills, and you'll also need speed, power, and of course, endurance too. Now, this means your upper body, namely your back, your chest, and your arms, need to be in tip-top Olympic shape, right? Now, this morning, I'm going to be taking you through a water polo-inspired workout as we show our support to the South African water polo women who will be heading to the Olympic Games for the very first time. Yes! All right, Jamie, you ready
I
for
want
this?
to be part of the team. I want to be part of the team. I just want to walk on like this. That's all. Then I made it just like,
yeah,
and
let's go. All right, so we're not going to be doing something as, let's say, as elegant as that, but we are going to be putting in the work. And this is something that everybody at home, you Mzansi, can benefit from as well, because we're working on some of the muscles that can help us in everyday life, as well as being that prime athlete that you can become after this. So I've got a kettlebell. Again, you guys can use anything at home that you want or that you have. A dumbbell, a kettlebell, a bag of books, a water bottle, anything will do in this workout. You can get creative. You don't have to have any excuse. And also, it's level 4 lockdown. The gyms are closed, so this is the perfect way to get creative and get your own workout at home going on. All right, so we're going to get into the good stuff now. We'll leave the weight out till the end, but what we're going to be focusing on is some of the primary muscles and muscle groups. Why are you so nervous?
Training. So hectic this week. My body is in pain. DOMS, obviously. But wow, Mzansi.
But that's good. So because you trained yesterday, it means that you can still do this session. It's not as high on the impact side of things. It's going to work on those accessory muscles. And at the end of the day, this is going to benefit the greater goal that you're going on and getting these shreds to continue. Right, so we're going to start on the floor for this one. And we're going to start working something called the posterior chain, which is all the muscles on the rear of our body, our back, our glutes, etc. So we start this movement with a basic Superman. Jamie, what you're going to do is squeeze your glutes together, and you'll see that your feet raise off the floor. Beautiful. You can point your toes because you are going to be stimulating the calves. That's a muscle group that we use when we swim. Next, we're going to slightly just raise our hands as far out and as far forward as we can. Holding this position, you'll feel a good stimulation in the shoulders. Now, in this position, I want you to spread your arms as wide as you can, almost as if you're doing a stroke. Beautiful. Now, bring it straight forward again. And that'll complete your first movement. Nice and easy, Mzansi. See if you can stop yourself from shaking too much and just keep the swimming motion going.
What does shaking mean?
The shaking means that you're just stimulating and contracting the muscle. So it's like an isometric hold, essentially. What happens is you start losing oxygen, we get a little bit of a lactic acid buildup, and that starts to cause the shaking, which is meaning that we're reaching our max output or our max potential. With the same position, what we can do is then simulate different strokes, just like a swimmer would. So if you want to work on your breaststroke, you want to work on your freestyle, this is also a great way to do so while actively engaging that posterior chain.
And that core as well.
Yeah, definitely. Remember, your core is not just your abs, it's everything around that lower spinal column as well, supporting the trunk. So this is a great one for that. You can do a little whoop, little shimmy over onto the buttocks, and we're going to do something really cool. And again, this is something that's so functional to swimming, but also will help everybody, especially you Mzansi at home. This is another core workout, but we're actively going to work the legs. Remember, in swimming, Water polo guys are actively just fluttering away, keeping themselves buoyant and keeping the
Make
rest
it look so effortless.
Literally,
how do
you
you
see
do
them
that?
above the water and they're just chilling like this, but literally the motors are working. So we want to try keep the motors working while engaging the core. What we do is we firstly, coming from a lying down position, you want to raise your arms up in the air and contract this part of your core, right, midline. What this means is in this position already, the hands are increasing the weight and the gravity. Now I want to try lift my legs up and start going for a flutter kick. There we go, beautiful form. You can point your toes again just to get some stimulation of the calves because you are going to be using that in swimming, but you're going to literally hold this for 30 seconds, take about a 15-second break, and repeat that for 4 sets in total. How's it feeling over there?
Burning, but it's working. The motors are working, like you said.
I love it. And of course, your quads, everything else are getting into the party as well. Last one to finish off. Remember, you got to score a goal in water polo, so you got to smash it through the net. And we're going to work on those rotator cuffs on that shoulder. And it's something that I love. It's called the Arnie press, but we're going to use our makeshift weight for this one. And this one is simple. You're going to go for 15 reps on each side, 4 sets in total. But let me show you how it's done. So I'm raising the weight, press it up into the air, bring it back to restart, then I'm going to rotate it in towards my face, and then away, and then repeating that movement once again. A lot of pressure, a lot of tension, but we're also working the rotator cuff, working the shoulder under tension, and at the same time stimulating a throw that you would as you were applying something like a water polo goal, passing it to your teammate. So that right there, as simple as it is the perfect full body workout for you to get water polo ready. It's inspired by beautiful ladies that are going to the first time forever to the Olympic Games to represent our country, Mzansi, and we wish them nothing but the best of luck. And for you at home, enjoy this workout, 4 sets of each, and the shreds will continue.
I have to do this.
Only you can make my day.
Nourish your skin with Ingram's for Men, enriched with triple glycerine. For 48-hour moisture and no stickiness. Ingram's, your skin, your brave.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
You see, because I'm hot now.
It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on S3. Well, you know what? I'm very excited because when we have musical talent on our show, it's so important for us to get to know them and really just share how incredible they are. So this morning's performer is a teacher's assistant and a mom of 2, Krista Jonas. And when children are not keeping her busy and occupied, she sings her heart out on stages in and around Cape Town. So please can we give her a warm Expresso welcome.
Krista! By the way, as you were saying nice things about her, she was like this, ooh, yes, ooh, I love it. Honestly, it's great, and I can feel.
Celebrate yourself,
So
man.
you're excited, aren't you? You are super excited. I can tell. Yes.
Yes, manifesting. God came through.
Affirmations, girlfriend.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Yes, I can. I love it. So this singing thing of yours. Now, when I got here today, there were people raving about you already. Yes.
Jamie
yes,
Lee
Jamie Lee.
Domberg.
She was like, oh my word, you must hear Krista Jonas. Oh my word. Okay, fine. I can't wait to hear. But apparently you've been singing since you were 13. Is that correct? And how's it been going? I mean, the musical journey. In fact, I always ask this. Who was that first person that said, you know what, you can actually sing then?
My dad. He was the one. But myself as well. You
Okay,
know what?
good.
Growing up, I had 4 best friends.
Yeah.
And I'm sure all girls, we want to be the Spice Girls.
Yes, totally.
So we were jamming to the Spice Girls one day, and I was just like doing my sporty Spice part.
Were you Sporty Spice?
Yeah, because I was the tomboy of the group.
Okay, sporty.
And then I sang my verses and choruses, and I was like, damn, you know, there's something there. And my dad bought me a CD player at the age of 13 as a gift, and I would lock myself in my room and jam to Whitney Houston, Christina Aguilera, Celine Dion, and try and hit the notes. And as soon as I found out I could actually hit the note, I entered myself into a singing competition, a local singing competition. And it was my first time on stage.
Yeah.
And to my surprise, I won the competition, and that's when the bug just bit, and ever since I've been performing.
That is incredible.
Wow.
I love that. And I mean, how old were you when you decided to enter that competition?
Me, I was 15.
15?
Going on 16.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
And I know that lockdown has also been a very interesting period for especially musicians and the creative industry, the arts industry. How have you managed to use that time to really, you know, just find focus and really hone in on your talent?
You know what? With the lockdown, it was a scary, scary experience, to be totally honest with you, because that was our livelihood, that was our income, that was what we...
Yeah.
And having 2 kids, it was scary. And I found myself, I told God, Lord, I need a job. I got my job as a teaching assistant.
Amen.
And for 7 months, it's been simply amazing.
That is incredible.
Beautiful. Sorry, man, my eyes are actually burning a bit because there's a shine coming through your hand. I'm trying to get my eyes open, but it's difficult. There's a shine. I see you're somebody's
good lockdown.
fiancé.
Yes!
It's something on the horizon. Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
We just finally.
Finally, it took long, man.
How long did it take him?
6 years.
That's not
together. No, it's not.
Okay.
6 years.
And so it's happening. Congratulations. I'm sure you're very, very excited. And, you know, that's a massive milestone in anybody's life as well. I know also it's very difficult planning a wedding in this time because you don't know when the lockdown's happening again. So how's that been going, the planning?
Stressful. It's one of the most stressful things one can plan. Guys, wedding, wanting to get married is fun and all, but planning it is really stressful. But so far it's been good.
And then add a pandemic to it.
Yeah.
Yes,
more stressful.
you know? Yeah.
You got the people with the flowers, the venue. Yeah, it's crazy.
When is your provisional date?
The 25th of September, 78 days to be exact.
What? It's happening very soon. That's crazy. But just congrats again. And I know, you know, when it comes to planning, I know that you will survive.
Yeah.
In fact, you should sing something like that
Are you
later.
going to sing that for us?
Should I?
Yeah, a little Gloria Gaynor. Just to prove that you're ready to go. I think that'll be absolutely perfect.
Let's go.
Krista Jonas.
Yay!
Well, she's not going anywhere. She's going to be performing for us. I'm hoping to hear that I Will Survive from you. And of course, stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast show because this shining talent's not going anywhere.
She's a fiancé.
Yeah.
Mom of 2, as she just revealed, Krista knows just how hard getting the kids to eat nutritious breakfast really is. Well, we've got a flavor-packed solution.
Fruits of the Forest from Clover just added real cereal crunch. A symphony of fruit, oats, seeds, and granola crunch. Fruits of the Forest. Real fruit, real cereal, real taste.
Made with love by Clover.
So when it comes to breakfast, we are excited to see products like Clover's Fruits of the Forest with cereals, which includes oats as well, granola, and those vital oils in the seeds that offer families real cereal, real fruit, and of course, real taste to boot. And if you're looking for different ways of enjoying it, our oat squares with fruit are definitely the answer. Michaela is going to show us just how yummy these treats are and how easily they come together. And I'm going to help with my 1 apple.
You get to slice
I get to slice an
Actually
apple.
dice it. So
Slice
it's even
and
more
dice it.
intricate.
I'm nervous. An apple makes me nervous. We were joking, saying it's like right up there with a mango in terms of slicing. Now, I'm ready and I am able, but these are cool. And this is a great way to make sure that you're getting the nutrients in, and it helps when feeding kids that it tastes really good.
And also, it's all natural sugars, which is what we're looking for.
You said that so seriously that I believe you, and I'll take it on board. Okay, so where do we begin? Can I start slicing in the interim?
You can start doing that because I know that cutting apples takes like forever. So just go for gold on that. Then
so
we have some rolled oats over here.
Okay.
Also good for you, and it's a gluten-free option. So let's go with that. Then we have some cinnamon, a little bit of salt, and some baking powder, just as a rising agent. So we've combined all the dry ingredients.
Cool.
You're like really concentrating there.
I know, man. I want to make sure that I do it justice, you know? I find with my kids, like, I have to do less cutting of fruits now that my little one can kind of grip an apple and just chow down. But I love the fact that my kids love fruit. You just feel like you're failing less often as a parent when your kids enjoy fruit. We're not quite there with the veggies yet, but we'll get there. But at least fruit, you know, you're getting, like you say, those natural sugars in. And it's also good flavors. I want them to appreciate these flavor profiles so they grow up to enjoy fruit, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, that's looking good.
Okay, and in this, we're going to throw some of our Fruits of the Forest clover yogurt.
Oh, I love it. It's creamy, it's delicious.
It smells delicious.
Fresh.
And the best part about this is it's like basically having your cereal on the go. So you just chuck everything together, you bake them, and then when your kids are like in a hurry in the morning, you just let them grab one of these bars and they can just go for gold.
How's that? Is that diced enough for you?
That's perfect.
Thank
okay,
you.
and we're going to add some honey. And then I'm going to give you the rest of this.
Okay.
And if you could just throw some of those in there just to coat them. And then we just mix everything together, literally.
Easy peasy. I like this. You know, you talk about it being a snack on the go. This is great for lunchbox ideas as well.
Exactly. And it's quite easy to just prep beginning of the week, and you just leave it.
And just once a day, they get something. You gave me a very difficult job in coating the things in honey. I thought the chopping of the apple was going to be the most challenging aspect. Okay, that's actually coming together quite nicely.
That's perfect.
There you go. Cool.
Okay, so everything is already combined, and you just put it into a greased container. And we're going to bake it in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about 25 to 30 minutes.
How would you know that they're ready?
They'll get a golden brown color on the outside.
Ooh, yum.
And also the thing with oats is you could basically eat it raw. So we're cooking this just to cook the eggs.
Okay.
Because no one likes salmonella.
Yeah, no, completely. And I love that. And you're getting a balance of kind of the nutrients of the fruits as well. You're getting the beta-glucan, which is great for the heart as well. Yeah. Bring down that cholesterol. But this is going to be filling as well. So you don't have to eat a huge amount. And we know that having a good breakfast, or at least starting the day with the right kind of energy, especially with a little one, is so vital. They are so active. Their little brains are working overtime. They need that energy, especially if they're going to be at school or if you're going to attempt any homeschooling.
Are you doing any homeschooling at the moment?
Oh, we are. We're in it at the moment, but I love it. I find it very rewarding, and I'm learning. I'm glad that my kids are as young as they are, because I imagine trying to do like maths and like geometry and trig and that sort of thing is going to be a bit beyond me. But I'm ready for the challenge, and I love the fact that we're dressing this with a beautiful kind of little fresh fruit on top. This is.
And then we'll get that like delicious golden caramelized situation that we all love.
This is going to taste like one of those guilty pleasures, which for me is a crunchy, but it's going to be jam-packed.
Those crunchy cookies, it's basically that. Just a healthy version.
Beautiful, make it massive amounts, and as you say, chop them up and then serve them.
And you could basically just top this with your favorite fruit. So you could actually do some stewed strawberries, maybe some guavas even.
Whatever's in season, whatever's looking good.
Rock fruits, beginning of the year, so.
Yeah. Use it, man. Push the boat out a little bit. The base is amazing. From there, you can take it wherever you want, and you can find this recipe on expressoshow.com. Give it a try and have a lot of fun. Maybe bake it with your kids as well. Get them involved so they're invested in it. If you missed any of the steps, here's how we made them.
with love by Clover. Only you can make my day. My feel-good breakfast show.
Let me tell you, it is your feel-good breakfast show here on S3. And we all know the saying, history repeats itself, and that rings true in the world of fashion, because over the last few months, the nostalgic print tie-dye has made a comeback and has stood tall during the pandemic. It has become a toned-down wardrobe treat, and who better than our fashion editor, Miss Knox Mafu, who is here to tell us all about it. Girl,
I've got the tea on the tie-dye.
Let me tell you, because I thought we were going to leave it in the 1960s, but no, she came back and she is here.
And she's here to stay. Honestly, what a fun and vibrant look and feel. I love it.
Why do you think people love it so much? Because like I said, I thought we would leave it back there.
Yes.
But people is trending it up. We're seeing it on the street. We're seeing it on the red carpet. We're seeing it with Miss J-Lo.
Exactly.
Hello?
Look, I think the thing is that people think it's a 1960s thing. But actually, what tie-dye actually started in, like, the States from, like, the Columbia University. So there's a professor called, I think his name is Charles Pellow, yes. And in 1906, he actually had started figuring out this material. But it only got popular in the 1960s when we had Janis Joplin and we had Sebastian, you know, all these guys who are really using this tie-dye as a kind of print of freedom, of joy. And I think we've associated with that, but it's back with a bang, because I think we need a little bit of freedom and a little bit of joy.
Hello, you can say that a bit louder. Thank you, Charles Pellow, for bringing it back there, or just making the statement out here. Because I remember back in the day, I tried to do it myself. You know, everyone, I was trying to do a towel, I was trying to do a bikini, everything needed to be tie-dye, but now we're seeing it in items.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
So I think we're seeing, because I think, like you're saying, it was very much linked with homemaking and stuff. And because we spend so much time at home, it's natural that it's led to athleisure, you know. Athleisure are items that we're going to wear at home. We're in our sweats. We're back in lockdown again. So this is really a material that showcases the comfort and the ease of tie-dye. I think it's quite fun and tonal also. So I think our celebs are also really enjoying that, because you can chill. Look at J-Lo wearing it.
Don't be fooled.
Mindy Kaling, all these women are really, really wearing it as something that you can wear at home. It's versatile, it's comfortable, but it's also bold. And I mean, look at Court. Court is like killing it. I would never think to wear tie-dye like that. But I think in a good structure, whether it be sweats, whether it be jeans or a jacket, tie-dye has a really vibrant way of adding a tonal and also edge to your outfit.
Well, it's definitely back now. And that being said, you know how with denim, you always say don't put denim on denim. Is there a way that you can, like, not style it right?
Yes. So I think, I mean, I would never say there's anything wrong in fashion, unless, like, you're making really hideous choices. But I think even if we look here at the ranges that Woolworths already has, you know, your staples. You've got a beautiful dress over here. You've got a great top that's got a bit of a tie feature here on a tie-dye print. But these are great that you could pair them, maybe if you were to break it up, let's say, with your favorite denim. That's a lovely way to wear that. So it's not so much matchy-matchy, but it brings out the tonal feel of each of the colors. But of course, if you want to keep it chilled and at home, then I would pair it either in a kit together like this, or I would wear one piece of sweat over the other. So for instance, if I were to wear something with a gray kind of undertone, then I'd wear something a little bit lighter. But it's how you play with the colors, whether it's bringing in a jean, short, or shirt. It's about using the colors in that tie-dye print to bring out the best of the pattern.
Sure. I'm even loving the dress right there because you can really pair it with a pair of heels. If you want to do the combat boots, which is now in season.
Absolutely,
but I know
Jamie.
a girl from the block that wants to show us her look today is Miss Zoe Brown.
Miss Zoe Brown!
Yes.
Don't be fooled.
Zoe in the circle.
I love this.
So this is where we kind of took it from, like, on the nose, how you would wear it, which is to wear it together. I like the fact that it kind of has a detail where it stops a little bit before the ankle, so a very three-quarter look for her. She could add a puffer to it, so a really statement piece for that, to give it that bit of edge. But here, I think work from home is exactly how you want to do it, like this. A few errands if you want to do it, and then if you have a meeting, for instance, you could add a blazer.
I would even pop a pair of heels on with this, like a big chunky chain and a pair of heels.
What would you say? Some heels, yeah.
Some heels. So I love that you both are leaning to heels, because someone might be nervous to do that with an athleisure look, but it's actually the very place that you can play with a little bit of formal, with a little bit of fun, and tie-dye really allows you, because the fun has been sorted. Thank you, model. The fun has been sorted, but we really can add your heels, your puffers, your denims to give it that bit of edge.
Nox Mafua, as always, you are the girl. And let me tell you, tie-dye is back. She's come back for this season and can shop it in-store, online, or on the Woolworths app.
So the winter season brings a little extra layering of clothing, and more of us are working from home, obviously, all while trying to stay ahead of the dreaded laundry pile, which during cold front in the Cape is a very difficult thing. Trust me, this has been one of the big dramas of my life over the last 2 weeks. And someone who knows the struggle well is our tech guru, Grant Hines, because he's always dirty, and he can't wait to share how technology can make a difference.
There we go. Now, let's be honest, many of us don't give the humble washing machine much thought, but this, unsung hero of our everyday lives is about to get the notice it deserves with Samsung and Omo Auto Wash Days promotion.
I love that.
Look, it's such an integral part of our homes, and it's a piece of technology that we often overlook because, there's all this other flashy stuff in the house. But it's so important to have a washing machine.
So much.
We take it for granted.
Well, not only that, but it's also, there's so many other ways that a good washing machine can not only improve the quality of your clothes going forward and then save you money in the long run, but also be better for the environment.
Completely, because energy consumption is a big thing.
Yeah, and we want to save electricity as well, given our current situation.
All I really want to ask, does this go zhuk, 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 or does it go but I'll ask you that in just a moment. Obviously, having the right combination of detergent and washing machine is vital. How do we get that combo right?
Well, obviously, having the best Omo and having the best washing machine is a good way to have the best combination.
That's what you need.
Yeah, so I think that's really important. But one of my big recommendations is, instead of doing like one huge bunch of laundry at one go, is to do little bits. Instead of having it's really daunting. Comes Thursday, it's usually Thursday, I don't know why. Come Thursday, there's a massive pile of washing on the floor, and then you end up spending exorbitant amount of hours sorting out your different washes. So what you need to do is obviously sort your colors. You need to make sure that your black clothes are in a black pile, your color clothes are in a color pile, and your white clothes are in a separate pile, because you don't want the colors to bleed inside the washing machine, which can happen. And obviously using high quality detergents like Omo during that process makes a big difference.
Can I tell you what's one of my biggest frustrations when I do laundry? I realize, there's a sock. And you can't, with my washing machine, it locks. So I cannot add it to the washing machine.
So there's a solution. Yeah. There's actually a solution. The Samsung have got a new technology called Add Wash. And it literally, you pop open the front over here, and you can add clothing. It is a pet head of mine as well.
What is the most added item of clothing?
Socks. 100% socks.
There's always that one sock.
Well, it's like you put everything in and you realise, I'm still in my gym clothes. And my gym clothes need to be there.
Yes! Or a towel. I often do this. I set the washing machine up in work mode, and then I hear the water gushing in, and I turn around and there's an item of clothing on the floor. But that's not only just for clothes that you want to throw in during the washing cycle. If you need to do any kind of technical washing, I call it. It's like people that really understand how to wash clothes and have to add detergents later on in the wash and different kinds of detergents. You can do that,
Who are these people?
They're people that understand clothing and washing clothes better than I. And like one of the things that I've, recently I've actually spent a lot of time doing this. I've been doing a lot of Googling on on clothing and washing machines, is that I think that I'm washing my clothes incorrectly a lot of the time, or sometimes using bad products, and I've been converting to Omo because the clothing that I want to have, I want it to last longer.
Yeah.
I'm spending so much money on these items of clothing.
You want the fabric to last for sure.
It's a waste, it's a waste of money if we don't invest in products that are going to look after that.
I know. And you know what? You need to play also around with the settings. There is now, Grant, for you, a baby setting. I love the delicate setting because, there's a lot of pieces that they say you need a hand wash, but if you put it on a delicate setting, I always take that risk
And
with
the
my
baby
garment.
clothing is so soft,
Yep.
dude. The
There's
little
a
baby
baby
grows are
care.
so soft. You want to ensure that you look after that fabric. What about stains, dude? Give us a recommendation.
Well, one of the things with stains, contrary to popular belief, use colder water for stains. And that's actually, there's a technical reason for that.
Okay.
So a lot of the molecules, it's science, a lot of the molecules that you have with color properties, their membranes can break under hot temperatures. So you want to have a cooler wash for stains, and then pre-treat that stain as soon as possible, as soon as that stain occurs, with Omo, and wash it as fast as possible. Again, don't wash it on a high heat. You want to make sure that it doesn't break that membrane and then stain it permanently.
But can I tell you what I do with my Omo lid is I literally, when there's a stain, I pop a little bit on and I use this.
Yeah.
And I just rub it in. And you really just
got that,
process
round,
that little stain. And you know what? What's great with the Samsung is also my favorite feature is the bubble soak, where you get to actually it really focuses on dirty clothing to
It
get that
almost gives it
stain
a
out.
soak. Well, feeding off that, what do you do when hygiene is a focus? Maybe it's dog stuff, maybe it's your gym stuff, your hiking gear.
Well, the Samsung washing machine does have the ability to steam hygiene clean.
Really?
So yeah, you can throw those items in and it can, with hot steam, just hygienically disinfect the clothing, which is really cool. Also, another thing that I want to bring up, it's part of the Smart Things ecosystem. So if you are a Samsung user like myself and pretty in it, the Smart Things ecosystem allows you to connect all the smart devices in your home to Wi-Fi, and you can control it with your phone. So you can get notifications when the washing is done. For instance, how many times do you just forget the fact that the washing machine
Smells like old foot because it's...
Yeah, because the following day you're like,
forgot.
I switched the washing machine on. But now you can actually manage your day correctly with the Smart Things app.
And I like the idea of that because, you can set it in such a way you put everything in, you set it up so that it's done by the time you get home. And then you can hang it up.
Okay, can I ask the question now? Does this go or does it go...
No, it's actually really quiet. It's good. This one you see on the top there says digital inverter technology.
Wow.
That just really means that it's lower energy. It's using technology that makes it lower energy, and then also just doesn't doesn't make a big sound. It
You know why
turns it
your
down.
washing machine also does the just check that the legs are balanced. Because sometimes if the legs aren't balanced...
left the lock nuts on at the back. That's just something.
Yeah.
If you've bought a brand new washing machine, make sure that you've taken the bolts off the back of the drum before you use it. Absolutely amazing piece of tech, and I like the fact that it can slot into the bigger Samsung ecosystem. Laundry no longer needs to be a chore. In fact, it can be like the highlights of your day. And one lucky viewer stands a chance to win a Samsung 7-kilogram front-loading washing machine with Eco Bubble technology, plus an Omo Wash Days hamper for tough stain removal, even in a quick wash.
That's right. So just reply to the competition post that's on the Expresso Facebook, Twitter or Instagram page and tell us your best laundry tips. And don't forget to also include that hashtag Samsung Wash Day in your entry. Those T's and C's do apply and can be found on our website, expressoshow.com. And you better hurry up because the competition closes this Friday, the 9th of July, which is tomorrow at midnight. So get those entries in.
Welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show. I can tell you this talent behind me is going to be entertaining you very, very soon. Her voice is going to bring you hoendervleis. I guarantee you that. Her name is Krista Jonas. But before we get to this amazing performance, time to check out on your news.
Thank you so much, Carl. Well, it's time now, just after 7 o'clock, it's time to head into those news headlines. Starting with your national news. Now, Gauteng Premier David Makura says universities have agreed to release their final year medical students to help manage COVID-19 hospital beds and administer vaccines. Now, this will complement the current healthcare personnel who have been under tremendous pressure due to the increasing hospitalizations because of rising infections in Gauteng. Now, military medics have already been deployed to complement the current staffing challenges of COVID-19 beds. Makura also encouraged the elderly to be vaccinated, and he also met 103-year-old Miriam Moache, who has been vaccinated. And then the acting minister in the presidency, Khumbudzo Ntshavheni, says the government is planning on expanding the COVID vaccination rollout to another age group as the third wave increases. Now, workplace vaccinations, she added, were also opened beyond the current permitted age groups as part of the rollout, but only for employees of relevant sectors. Meanwhile, the Western Cape's latest mega vaccination centre opened yesterday. It's hoped to inoculate some 4,000 people a day at the Cape Town International Convention Centre. An even larger site will open soon at Athlone Stadium. Now, looking to news further abroad, Haiti yesterday declared a state of emergency after President Jovenel Moïse was assassinated and his wife wounded in an attack on their home in the capital, Port-au-Prince. Unidentified gunmen stormed the property at 1 o'clock local time, and interim Prime Minister Claude Joseph had said this. Now, Moïse had led Haiti, one of the poorest nations in the world, since 2017, but had of late faced widespread protests demanding his resignation. Now, the nation's recent history has been plagued by coups, political instability, and widespread gang violence. And then staying with the international news as well, Kenya's tourism ministry says it was not consulted about a plan by a UK charity to relocate 13 elephants to the country. Now, the elephants are currently in an animal park in Kent, southeast of England. The animal conservation group, the Aspinall Foundation, plans to fly the creatures to Kenya and then reintroduce them to the wild. Now, Kenya's tourist ministry said it was concerned about the issue, but the relocation and rehabilitation of an animal from a zoo is not easy and is an expensive undertaking. And now some feel-good news for everybody. In this exceptional cold winter the country is experiencing, Durban's Northern Girls High School has made a tangible difference in the lives of some fellow learners. Now, its learners donated some 180 blankets to 2 other schools in the Durban North area as part of the Winter Warmth campaign, which they started in May. Now, this most thoughtful and generous initiative from young minds has been widely commended in KZN's Harbour City. The learners first visited Kenville Primary School before travelling to Quarry Heights Primary School. Now, Northern's Girls Marketing Manager Karen Backhouse said the idea was to pay it forward to those less fortunate. Backhouse added, and we quote, "We asked the learners and staff to either donate a new blanket or money towards the purchase of blankets. It was a small gesture, but it's so important for our girls to give back to the community, and we collected no less than 180 blankets." On that feel-good note, that is where I leave your 7 o'clock news headlines. Here is G with another look at the sports.
Thank you so much, Jamie. Let's start with rugby. SA Rugby yesterday confirmed that the scheduled second test match between the Springboks and Georgia has had to be cancelled due to positive COVID-19 cases in both camps. A review by the medical advisory group confirmed that the risk of further infections just made it impossible to continue with the fixture tomorrow evening. 12 positive tests in the Bok camp have been recorded, with 4 in the Georgian camp. Then on to the British and Irish Lions, who have now made it 2 wins in 2 matches after thrashing the Sharks 54-7. That was in their second Lions series clash in Johannesburg last night. Lions head coach Warren Gatland made 8 late changes because of players isolating due to the coronavirus. The visitors scored 8 tries, with wing Duan van der Merwe and fullback Josh Adams both scoring hat-tricks to seal their second victory. And staying with rugby, the Griquas, they've been building towards a big scalp for a while. They stunned Western Province 30-28 to secure their second win in the new Currie Cup campaign at Cape Town Stadium yesterday. Griek was locked. Cameron Lindsay scored a try in injury time to level the scores before fly half George Whitehead stepped up and he kicked the match-winning conversion for the men from the Northern Cape, rather. So that Currie Cup action will continue again tomorrow with a mouth-watering clash between the Cheetahs and the Pumas, and that one is at 4 p.m. Then on to the big one in the world of football. England will now face Italy in the Euro 2020 final after they beat Denmark in extra time in their semi-final clash at a packed Wembley Stadium last night. After a 1-1 draw at 90 minutes of play, the match went into extra time with England's captain Harry Kane then scoring the winner from the penalty spot after Raheem Sterling, who had been a star on the night, was brought down in the box. The European Championship final between the Three Lions and the Azzurri will kick off at 9 p.m. SA time on Sunday. Then onto a different kind of grass. For tennis, reigning champion Novak Djokovic has reached the Wimbledon semi-finals for a 10th time after beating Hungary's Marton Fucsovics in the last 8. The 34-year-old Serb recorded an impressive straight sets victory, 6-3, 6-4, 6-4 to advance. And Djokovic will now face 10th seed Denis Shapovalov for a place in that final tomorrow. Then a massive upset. Roger Federer's bid for a 9th Wimbledon title came crashing down and he is out of the tournament. Hubert Hurkacz from Poland was unbelievable on the night. Stunned Federer in straight sets, 6-3, 7-6, 6-love to book his place in the semi-finals for the first time. Well, that's where we leave our sport for this hour. Let's get another take on our global weather perspective and see what the temperatures have in store here in South Africa.
Thank you, Graham. Starting with your weather news, North America has just experienced its warmest June on record, and that is according to the EU's Earth Observation Program. That comes as no surprise given the unprecedented high temperatures recently recorded during the heat wave that hit Canada and parts of the US. And despite rain and cloud experienced, it was the second warmest June on record for Europe and the fourth warmest June ever recorded worldwide. Climate experts say the findings point to a frightening escalation in temperature extremes. A climatologist at Oxford University, Prof. Frederick Otto, says that the world has increased the rate of greenhouse gas emissions in each decade, and that has increased the rate of warming. She said we should be investigating in adaptation and resilience to ensure our communities can withstand the higher temperatures expected in the future. And as many of our viewers know, that we are highlighting different international cities on a Friday to learn about the different languages and cultures. So for tomorrow, we are journeying to Ethiopia. With that being said, we would like to make a call to any of our viewers that are currently based there or have even visited the country. We would love to see any pictures of the country that you would love to share with us, and please do so by heading over to the Expresso Facebook page if you would like to see your photos featured tomorrow. And bringing it back to our own shores, we have some sunrise views that we would love to share with you. One of our two regulars, Joan Cameron from Britannia Bay, shared one of her favorites views to start her day off, and that is the one overlooking the ocean. And then Nikki Besaidenote from Mossel Bay sent yet another stunning sunrise, showing off some low-lying mist sitting just above the ocean. What a peaceful way to begin your day. Thank you for sharing that with us, ladies. And please continue to share your sunrise photos with us. You can do so on the Expresso Facebook page. And don't forget, if you live or have visited anywhere in Ethiopia, to also share those photos with us. Let's quickly look at your temperatures. If you're in Polokwane, a sunny day ahead with a low of 5, a high of 20. Mbombela, 10 with a high of 25. Pretoria 6-19, Johannesburg 7-17. A sunny day in Mahikeng today with a high of 22, Klerksdorp 4 reaching a high of 21. Kimberley 3-22, Bloemfontein a cool start of 1 with a high of 21. Richards Bay 15-24. Pietermaritzburg 8-26, Durban 16 with a high of 25. Sunny conditions in Mthatha today with a high of 21. East London's the place to be. sunny with a high of 31. Cradock 3 reaching a high of 27. If you're in Gqeberha today, a low of 10 with a high of 31 can be expected. George 8, 24. Cape Town cold and rainy with a low of 11, a high of 14 degrees Celsius for today. Worcester 9 reaching a high of 15. Sutherland starting off on a cool -1 with a high of 13 for today. And a sunny day ahead in Uppington, a low of 5, a high of 29 degrees Celsius. That's where I leave your weather for now. A final update coming your way at 8 o'clock.
I know you've been waiting for this moment because I've been waiting for this moment as well. This is Krista Jonas. Chatted to her earlier. She is powerful when it comes to the vocal prowess, and you're about to witness that right now. And I think the great thing is she took my request. I said 1978 classic by Gloria Gaynor, please. I Will Survive, and she said, no problem, Carl. We're going to go for it. So this song is inspired not only just by the fact that she's planning a wedding in a pandemic, but also for anybody who needs to hear this right now. You will survive, and you'll be entertained. This is Krista Jonas on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
First I was afraid, I was petrified, kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. But then I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong, and I grew strong. Yes, I've learned how to get along. So you're back from outer space. I just walked in and find you here with that sad look upon your face. I should have changed that stupid lie. I should have made you leave your key. If I had known for just 1 second, you'd be back to bother me. Go on now, go. Walk out the door. Boy, turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome anymore. Won't you wanna try to break me with goodbye? You think I crumble? Hey, you think I lay down and die? You know that I will survive for as long as I know how to live. I know I'll stay alive. I've got all my life to live. I got so much love to give, and I will survive. I will survive, yeah, yeah. Listen, it took all the strength I had not to fall apart. Been trying hard to mend the pieces of my broken heart. And now you thought not jumping in and just expect me to be free. But now I'm saving all my loving for someone who's loving me. Go on now, go. Walk out the door. Boy, turn around now, 'cause you're not welcome anymore. Won't you wanna try to break me with goodbye? You think I crumble? You think I lay down and die? Oh, no, not I will survive for as long as I know how to live. I know I'll stay alive. I've got all my life to live. I got so much love to give. I will survive. I will survive. I will survive. I got all my life to live. I got so much love to give. I will survive. I will survive. I will survive. Woo!
Didn't I tell you about Krista Jonas? Woo! Okay, go take that cold shower and come back. She's got more later. To Feel Good Breakfast Show. Yo!
Nourish your skin with Ingram's Camphor Cream, enriched with camphor and glycerine. Trusted to restore and repair dry skin. Ingram's, your skin, your brave.
the grandeur that intro brings to this man, it is undeniable. So we chatted to you about pets a little earlier. You know, our pets, they may be four-legged, furry, sometimes feathery, but they do make us feel a whole lot of fun, and they fill us with joy and love, and that's why it can be stressful when we need to take our beloved animal babies for urgent medical care.
No, that's so true, Carl. Now we're recalling once again upon the legal guidance of our friend and expert in law. It's the director at legalese.co.za, Aiton Stern, in the building, and he's going to be answering the question about, I need to take my beloved pet to the vet. So now what? Aiton Stern in the building. How are you doing this morning, brother?
I'm cool. I wish I was in the building.
Yeah, we're missing your
alone.
live, long, luscious hair flowing in our studio, but this will do, man. I'll take this.
Yeah, wait for this wave to be over, and then we can hang out again.
Yeah.
That's cool. But you look very cozy. You've got this very sort of like a teddy bear type of thing going on for you, which is great. That's wonderful.
I'm inspired by you guys. I'm wearing Woolworths now.
Oh, look at you. Well
welcome
done,
to the
man.
familia.
Yes, my brother.
I want to look like Ryle. And you.
Yes, just now all you need to do is start intermittent fasting and you'll be fine. Anyway, let's move on. So, I know that under we got some questions for you. So, under which license or degree is a person allowed to practice as a veterinary professional in South Africa? It's a very, very important first question.
Okay, so just like medicine and human medicine is very regulated, animal medicine is regulated. So in order to practice as a vet, you need to be registered with the South African Veterinary Association, and you need to have a qualification in either veterinary science or veterinary nursing, or one of the degrees that you can get from the University of Veterinary Science. There's one in Pretoria. There might be others in South Africa, but the main one is in Pretoria. So as soon as you've got a degree, you're immediately registered. If you don't have a degree with them, but you maybe got a degree from another country, you can apply to them and still get registered. But you can't, you can't practice medicine for animals without being registered with the South African Veterinary Association.
Oh, all right. Okay, so let's put a hypothetical into the equation here. Let's say I have gone to my vet or I had an experience with him, but I suspect to find that the vet's not actually as professional as I may have liked, or maybe they're not even licensed or operational properly. How do we go about maybe reporting them or reporting this so that we can protect other people from not falling into the same trap?
All right, so there's the logo on the screen, the South African Veterinary Council. So if you suspect that a vet has not been licensed or practicing in an irregular way, it's very, very important that you report it to them. There's, of course, also the SPCA, which are there to take reports of cruelty to animals, so you can report it to them. But if it's specifically for a vet, the South African Veterinary Council would definitely want to know. And I suppose, it's up to all of us. Animals can't speak for themselves in many ways. So, it's up to all of us to keep our eyes and ears open for them. So if you do spot something that you're unhappy with a vet, or with someone acting as a vet who you don't think is licensed, definitely report it.
I think that Ryle and you, Aiton, and myself, we're all sort of the same type of big-hearted people. And if we find an animal that is not in our personal care, that needs emergency assistance, is it upon us to take them to an emergency vet, or should they rather go to a shelter? I think this is a big one, though, because I want to help every single animal that I see, but of course there are protocols around this as well.
Totally. So it's a really good question. So look, if you see an animal that's clearly in distress, and if you've seen an animal that's been hit by a car, as an example, then certainly go to a vet. There'll be lots of vets around. You could Google and find an emergency vet. And if you suspect an animal is in danger, then certainly, that's what the SPCA is for, to investigate it. But it's really important that people don't waste the SPCA's time as well. So if your neighbor's dog, who's well looked after and, is wearing a little pink jersey and is barking too loud, don't go calling the SPCA, rather go talk to your neighbor. The SPCA is there for when there are serious matters. But if you do see an animal that's been hurt, whether it's a dog or a cat or a farm animal or otherwise, then the SPCA are the people to call.
Aiton Stern, I'm absolutely loving this conversation, getting educated already. And I think we're going to pick up on this a little bit later, because we're going to tackle some of the deeper issues when it comes to really protecting and looking out for these furry balls of love. But don't go anywhere, Mzansi. Aiton Stern will be back, and we'll be continuing this conversation about So Now What in a minute.
We're going to continue to care for our little pups right now. We've invited Bear, a poodle, in who has brought with him a friend, Karis Nafti, our animal behavior consultant, who is going to be helping us out this morning. Whether you're in Joburg, Limpopo, Cape Town, or right here in studio, these last 2 weeks have undoubtedly been two of the coldest weeks of the year so far. We have felt it, and whilst we are snug under the covers, we need to make sure that our pets are being cared for during these icy cold winter months as well. And here to make sure that we are doing that just right is our certified animal behavior consultant, as I said, Karis Nafti and Bear.
Bear.
The superstar. Hey, no,
yes, that's
Bear.
his name.
You're a happy chap.
We're just here to see Bear, but that's fine.
Completely. He's a smiley boy. Thanks for joining us. He looks sorted for winter. He's got the most beautiful coat.
He's got his winter coat on. As you can see, he's got a natural winter coat. So, as we said, Bear's a poodle, and there's some breeds like Bear. He doesn't shed, so he has to go for haircuts. Otherwise, because his hair just grows like ours. He'll have hair like Zoe after a while.
Imagine that.
So, in winter, what I do for him specifically is I don't cut his hair too short.
Okay.
Because he'll get cold, because he hasn't got, and so this is his scruffy winter look, which we love. It's very cute.
But it is
Very
cute.
sweet.
How can we tell if our animals are getting cold? Because I've seen some of those teeny tiny little chihuahuas and they're constantly shivering.
Yeah, they do. So there are some small breeds do shake, like Chihuahuas specifically, but most dogs don't. So the main thing to look for is a change in your dog's behavior.
Okay.
So if your dog shakes in summer, they might be shaking in winter. But just see, when they sleep, are they curled themselves into a ball? When you take them out for walks, you have to remember your dogs are barefoot outside.
Yeah.
So if the ground is freezing cold, you got to also watch that their feet aren't getting too cold.
Okay.
So the main thing is to look for a change in their behavior, and are they curled in more than normal?
Big dogs versus small dogs, do they feel the cold differently? Because I kind of think that bigger dogs are prone to have more insulation.
Just like people, you know? Big people, big dogs. Yeah, so big dogs have a lot more body heat. So big dogs with short coats can handle winter a little bit easier than a small dog with a short coat. So you have to be much more mindful of small dogs in the cold than big dogs. But just because you have a big dog doesn't mean you can just leave him outside in the cold.
For sure.
Especially if the temperature's so extreme like they have been.
Oh, and then when it comes to feeding and water, like, do we need to increase that slightly for our dogs, or do we
want to
just keep
eat more in winter,
we want to eat more.
So this is a tricky question, okay? And you have to be honest with yourself. If you are the kind of owner who exercises your dog as much as they normally do in summer, you should probably increase their food a bit in winter so they have a bit more energy.
Okay.
However, some of us don't exercise our dogs, don't exercise ourselves as much. If your dog's energy is gone, their exercise has gone down, you might need to reduce their food a bit so that they don't pack on any excess winter, padding.
That ratio, that expenditure of calorie ratio.
Yeah.
Is it different for puppies? Do they require more attention in winter? Where are they in their kind of stage of development in the colder months?
So puppies are a lot like babies. They can't regulate their own body temperature as well as adults.
Okay.
So they can get too hot and too cold a lot easier than adult dogs. So you do have to make sure that your puppy's got the chance to be warm. So if your puppy's left home alone, you can leave it with lots of blankies that he can nuzzle into. You've got to be careful if you put puppies or any dogs in jerseys that you don't put too many jerseys on, because they can also overheat.
Okay.
So they can't regulate. And so if your dog is ever panting while they're wearing a jersey, you must take the jersey off.
Okay.
Yeah.
This might be a contentious one. Dogs, breeds that have naturally long hair, I've heard from other experts that they are very good at regulating their own temperature. And if you cut that hair short, that you're doing them a disservice, even in summer. Is that true? Or how?
It is true, yeah. So dogs like huskies, like German shepherds, that kind of hair shouldn't be cut at all. What you have to do with those kind of breeds is shed the hair out, because their hair also is an actual sun deterrent for them. It's like a sunshade. So you need to maintain their grooming. Some people get a little bit like they kind of don't groom their dogs regularly, and then twice a year they just go to the vet and shave it. And that's not what to do. Just, maintain the hair.
Yeah, I wanted to know, it is also flu season. We're going into winter.
Yes.
As humans, we get sick. Our animals, they obviously can also pick up a couple of things. What do we need to look out for? Like, are dogs more prone to
Do
like
they have a
picking
flu
up a
season?
parasite during winter?
Dogs don't have a flu season in the same way that we do, but what people do sometimes forget about is just to keep an eye out for parasites in winter. Dogs can still get ticks in the winter, they can still get all the worms and all the fleas and all that stuff. Sometimes we just forget about it till summer comes around and the dogs are out. But as with all things, you should just maintain whatever it is you're doing with your dog. So definitely keep an eye out in winter for any kind of ticks. You can see them after you walk your dog. You can usually feel them. It feels like a big piece of pepper on them.
Okay.
Do you have any tips here, and this is a bit self-indulgent, for coaxing my little ones? I've just got them right with the new adopted cat, with the whole,
honey, right?
honey peeing inside. But now that we've had rain, they don't want to go out again. How do you coax your pets outside to do their duty out there rather than inside? Because clearly the weather does affect them.
The weather affects them, and part of the reason it affects them is because we owners also get a little bit lazy. So if it's pouring with rain and you just put your dog outside and you stand with the door closed saying, hurry up and go pee, they probably won't. So it often happens that dogs that are house trained have accidents in winter because they don't spend enough time outside. So what you have to do, the person, not your dogs,
get wet as well.
Get wet as well. Go walk in the garden with them. Walk around your yard. Get an umbrella. Just deal with it.
Give them the time to do it.
Take 10 minutes out, and they'll probably do their business. Yeah.
There we go. Well, Karis, thank you for joining us, but she's not going anywhere. So if you are at home and you have a dog in the house, maybe call them closer to the TV, because after the break, Karis is going to show us some great games to play indoors and outdoors with our doggos. So you do want to keep your four-legged friend happy and also active during the winter months. And if you have any questions about pet care, especially during winter, why don't you ask them? You can head on over to the Expresso Facebook page and pop those questions there, because we have Karis here who will be answering your questions.
And it's a free consult for you, so I suggest you make use of that opportunity. Bear, you're a legend.
Oh, he's the cutest.
Lord of...
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, beautiful souls, and we're continuing the talk around pet care for our furry, beautiful, lovable friends. And we're joined in studio now by Tamar Seagull, and she is a professional pet groomer, and Bear the dog is also joining us, and they're going to be talking about the importance of grooming. I see Bear is come full of energy. Tamar, how are you doing this morning?
Bear is ready.
How are you?
Fantastic. And I'm listening with bated ears because I have so many questions. I have a husky. It's just
hair.
like every day, the hair does not stop. So I'm going to be listening to you as much as I can. But I mean, why? What's detrimental to dogs' health, especially when it comes to grooming? Why is it so important?
Well, with certain breeds, they tend to mat. Your long-haired dogs tend to mat. Your double-coated breeds, they do shed a lot. And the longer you leave it, the more it actually gets compact, and then it does become quite an issue.
Yeah.
Because their coat can't breathe, so they tend to overheat then. Also with the nails, if your dog isn't overly active and doesn't walk a lot on certain types of surfaces, the nails tend to grow, and they can actually grow into the pad, and that affects the whole structure of their foot and causes quite a bit of discomfort. So, you know, grooming is quite important health-wise. It really does make a difference because the matting can be quite uncomfortable for them.
Yeah, and allows them to obviously enjoy the magic and the playground that they're actually in.
Enjoy it, and you know, it pulls in all sorts of weird places and shame.
Yeah. And then on the opposite side, is it possible for you to over-groom your pet? It's their fur too short or...
You know, it is possible to cut too short, or sometimes like in summer, you know, if you shave too short, then they can get sunburns. And so it is possible, especially certain types of coats. It's not recommended to shave them because it doesn't grow back the same, and it can just mess up the whole function of the coat.
Yeah.
So it isn't always good to shave certain breeds. You can overbrush your dog's coat, which does then damage the hair alone. But otherwise, there isn't much more that you could overgroom unless you wash your dog every day, basically, yeah.
Okay, so now I've seen this crazy thing online, and it really fascinates me, and especially when it comes to, I would imagine, similar breeds to what Bear is. You get these like international grooming competitions, and the dogs look insane. They've got all these crazy looks. Can you talk to me about that? What is it? What goes into actually making something like that happen, and how does it all come about?
You know, internationally grooming, you've got a lot of different types of shows, especially your creative grooming side. And so it's all the time, the hours that go into it. It's the sculpting of the coat, and they mainly use poodles because of the type of hair they have. It's actually really nice to sculpt with and play around with. And then it's the time of the dye that goes into it, and it's a whole process.
It's like a beauty pageant almost.
It is, and I mean the skill that it takes to actually do some of the things they do is amazing. It really is just mind-blowing.
I'm fascinated. I mean, we've got Bear in studio now. Can you give us a little bit of a demo on the correct way to groom a doggo like Bear?
And Bear's like, yeah, come on, hurry up, man. I woke up early for this.
Bear.
Oh, it's such a little cutie. So is there a specific technique for a dog like Bear versus a dog with maybe a thinner, longer hair, or is it kind of all the same?
Oh, well, with Bear, I mean, you would sort of want to line brush him because it would be your best way, because then you can actually get into each layer.
Okay, and I can hear he's got a thick coat.
He's got a thick coat. Also, you know, when you wash him, to use an HV dryer, so basically a blaster, it's quite a strong dryer. It does help after a bath to actually just blow out.
I can picture Bear in slow-mo.
Most of these tangles.
Hair waving around in that.
But with them, you want to completely brush them out until you can actually get a comb through them.
Okay, so like get the knots out almost.
You want to get all the knots out, because then that's also, you know, you can decide if you want to go a longer length. You don't have any knots stopping your blade. And it's also easier because when you have to brush the hair up to scissor and give it a nicer finish, then you don't have to always worry about getting stuck in those knots.
Okay. So how often are you supposed to brush your dog?
Depending on your dog's coat or your type of dog, how long it is, you know, it can be anywhere from every week to once a month.
So in my case with a husky, I brush him every single day, and every single day there's a pile of hair. Is that normal?
It depends on what type of brush you're using. So like this, I wouldn't recommend.
No, I don't use that. I'm using like more of like the bristles are a little bit thicker, and there's like one line of bristles, and it's made of metal, but it seems a lot thicker than that. Yeah. No hooks in it, just like a long one, then a short one, then a long one, then a short one, then a long one, then a short one.
Basically, what I like to use on a husky or a German shepherd is it's a brush and it's got hooks, and they dulled out, so it can't cut them. But you do want to always be careful of pulling because that's just uncomfortable.
Of course, yeah.
That actually gets to the bottom of the undercoat and takes it out, which is what you want on a husky.
Okay.
Because that coat is so thick that if you don't get to the bottom, then...
Yeah. Now, Tamar, I know this is something that any pet parent is very nervous about doing, is trimming the doggo's nails.
Yeah.
I mean, I've just got a cat. I haven't had the courage to do that myself. But how can we safely do it at home?
Yeah, and make sure that we're not hurting them in the process, because that's quite important to us.
Can I see your nails, please? So it depends on the dog's nails. So like, for example, Bear has black nails.
Yeah.
So it is harder to see the quick on black nails. So you...
The what was that? The quick?
The quick, yeah. So the quick is the vein inside the nails.
Okay.
So like we have a nail bed, they have a quick. So
all right, and you definitely want to stay away from that.
You want to stay away from that. It is uncomfortable and does bleed like a lot. So it isn't the nicest thing to cut by mistake. on white nails, it is easier, so you can see that pink vein, and then you want to cut just in front of it.
Okay.
So it's not, you know, depending on the nails and also how good your dog is going to be with it, will depend on how easy it is and how comfortable you feel. Because if your dog's gonna...
Some dogs don't even want you to touch them. Like, leave me alone, it's my nails.
No, some dogs hate having their paws touched. It's not...
Oh, but look, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you, Tamar, and getting educated, because I think we all want to give our furry balls of love the best opportunity they have at living, and I think this is essentially one of them. Keeping them happy, keeping them groomed, keeping them warm in winter as well, and of course, able to enjoy all the fun, yeah?
There we go. Well, Tamar, thank you for showing us and giving us all these great tips. And if you have any questions, remember, head on over to the Expresso Facebook page, because we have Karis, our animal behaviorist, that's going to be answering all of your questions a little bit later.
Some very interesting stuff with the pets, but right now we're back in the kitchen because guess what? It is guava season. It's in full swing and we couldn't let a recipe pass without getting to use them one way or another. And what better way to use them than in a light and airy vanilla sponge cake? Now, baker and digital content creator Michaela Toussaint is the perfect person to show us how to prepare this recipe, and we can't wait to cut into this. Michaela, this smells amazing, firstly, but looks so good.
So we've already prepped most of the stuff, but everyone loves a good seasonal cake.
The spice, though, are you the spice that's added in here, or is there actual spice in it?
But you were the spice.
Okay, we both can be the spice. We both the spice. So how do we start this?
So we've already mixed together our eggs and our sugar. We've beat it together. So if you could actually just give that an additional whisk for me.
I can do that, okay.
So go as fast as you can, sideways as well. It's actually better. There we go. And you want to whisk it until it gets to ribbon stage, which is when it's white and fluffy and doubled in size, and you lift it up and it just streams down.
Is that what you're expecting me to do, girl?
Exactly.
You've clearly not seen me in the kitchen, but okay, I'll give you what you want.
While you're busy prepping that, I'm cutting the guavas for our filling. So it's basically just about 4 or 5 guavas that you cut up. You put it into a pan with some sugar, a little bit of salt, and half an orange.
Oh, wow. On a Sunday, we used to make this I was going to say kujavel, because that's what it is in Afrikaans.
What's that song you were singing?
I was just going to sing it to you now. It was Moenie vir kujavels, kniesie, kujavels, het die niesie. Do you know the song? No, probably not.
No, but it's great.
Probably just in the family. But now I've taught you something.
Okay, but I'm not going to sing it back to you because I can't sing.
I think you can.
No, you don't do this to me.
You could sing. Girl, let it shine.
No.
Let it shine. If you want to sing this little light of mine, because you are a little light, you're a little fireball. Like I said, a little bit of spice.
You know, the small people in the world have to be that way.
You have to be.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, so you've whisked that for me. Great.
Is it looking great?
It looks beautiful. It's all white and fluffy.
Fluffy and airy.
So then, if I could just steal this from you.
Certainly.
We just add some zest of a lemon. I'm not very...
Orange?
I mean orange, my bad. Microplanes are very scary. You can chop your fingers off.
Yeah, be careful.
So we just zest. Oh, did you hear that?
I heard that. What was that?
That was my nail.
Okay, that's fine. As long as it's going to be the spicy orange and guava with Michaela's nails and fingers in it today. Try not to get hurt, everybody.
So we add some zest to it. And then...
do this. Side to side.
Oh, okay, so...
Girl, get me dirty. Get me dirty.
Of course. So we take the whisk out, and if you could just keep folding it in for me.
I can do that.
So do you know the method for folding?
No, but you're going to teach me.
So figures of 8. So we go around the outer edge of the bowl towards the center. The edge, the center.
Well, that looks like a talent. That looks like something you need to be born with. I don't think you can teach me that in a 3-minute segment, but okay.
You can definitely learn that.
Can I just dance as well? This is my party trick.
Okay, so this is a very large orange, so I'm just going to use half. And always make sure that you put your hand out just to catch any pips that might be there. And you just squeeze that out. Oh, this is a pipless orange.
Oh, yeah, that's fun. Makes it more convenient for us.
Sugar and a little bit of salt. And you just cook this on the stove until it's nice and stewed. And we have an example of it right over there.
Oh, here we go.
And then once you've mixed all of this together like you have, We add some of our Mama Bake margarine.
Because Mama sure knows how to bake.
Doesn't she? And some vanilla essence. And then you just add some on the table too. Just
because, just for the extras. Just for the extras.
And then you get the fun job of accessorizing the cake. You're just going to top the middle section with some of the guava. You don't want to add cream to the middle because otherwise it just oozes out. So we're going to top it with some cream.
Perfect. You're not going to use all of the guavas, right?
No, so you can stop right there and just spread it on out.
Got it.
Beautiful.
You'll have nice layers of guava. So every time you bite into it, you'll just have that guava ooze out. And then I'm putting this on top.
Yes. So, butter. Actually, it's quite nice if you do it the other way around because then you get a perfectly like flat top.
That looks
That's the secret for when you're covering cakes with fondant. You flip it upside down so that you get a perfectly flat top. And then you top that with some cream.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
You can actually just like blob it on if you'd like. We're being free spirits in the kitchen today.
There we go. And you always have to do that. I feel like this is a very chefy thing. Like you just have to scoop it.
If you really want to.
Something like that. And then obviously our guava as a topping. ExpressoShow.com is where you can find it. And of course we have more entertainment and more magic coming your way on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Voila.
Are you Mzansi's next cooking star? If your cooking makes the pots born, enter to be on SABC2's new show, Color Your Plate with Koo. To be part of the show, buy any 3 Koo products and send Koo 5 a day to 072-741-5357 on WhatsApp and follow the steps to load a picture of your colorful meal with your own twist. Stand to win your share of 500,000 rands worth of prizes with Koo. Koo uzotwala.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show, and what an intro. It gets me every time. But we're continuing our conversation with lawyer and director at legalese.co.za, Eitan Stern, as he breaks down the legal ins and outs of veterinary practice in South Africa. Eitan, welcome back, my brother.
How's it going?
Hey, you got something in your lap there.
Yeah.
Oh, my, you know,
that lady gets to bring her doggy onto the TV. I'm bringing mine as well.
Since the first conversation that we had, did you just sing your animal to sleep? What's going on? It's
what
so
is,
cold.
yeah, what is happening?
This is one of the world's most docile dogs. This is one of the dogs that doesn't want to go outside and pee during winter. He just wants to sleep.
You know, I've actually never believed it before, Raul, but you know when they say that, sometimes owners start looking like their dogs? Did you see that?
If I put myself in that position and look at him, he looks the same, actually.
Now, listen, there's a lot of time that goes into getting that coat's mane to look the way that it does.
Oh, yeah. But look, I mean, we've all got owners and pet combinations that we love to look at. I don't know, do you look like your dog at all?
I think I totally look like my dog.
I would love to see what your animal looks like. Hey, there's
Chili!
Who's that, Chili?
That's Chili. It's one of my
I see you both went for the lighter complexion.
Can you see how Chili doesn't like... Chili does not like photos. Every time I'm trying to get a good photo, he looks at me like, why are you doing this?
Have you paid for this? But I like... Chili's got a little mohawk as well, I see.
It's a
like
small
white
stripe. That's correct.
Yeah, he's got a little mohawk going down.
And your dog? Does your dog have a six-pack? Can I ask you that?
He doesn't have a six-pack, but he can hike. Check, that's me and my little hockey bums in the mountain. Yeah, my little husky. He's the one that keeps me fit, so I'm blessed. But Ethan, let's get into the serious conversation here, because we can spend all day oohing and awing over our lovers, our furry lovers. But look, let's talk about something a bit more... Let's talk about something a bit more serious, because... Yeah, what was that, sorry?
Yes. No. Carry on. Let's get serious here.
Darn.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I've seen situations where you get, and I mean, everybody loves their pets. I mean, clearly, all of us here share that same love. But when we are maybe being a little bit naive, and a professional might come in and say, listen, you actually need to start feeding your dog some dog food or the diet or grooming or something along the lines. And we're like, no, I know what's best for my animal. But clearly we actually don't. Can a legal professional in that instance potentially intervene, especially if it's something that's going to potentially cause a massive risk to our animal?
Yes, totally. So in South Africa, animals are protected by what's called the Animal Protection Act. So that's the legal framework which protects our animals. So if you have an animal, or even if it's not your animal, but it's someone else's, we have a duty to not harm animals. So if you see if someone's got a dog that they're not feeding, or they've got an animal, like a farm animal that they aren't properly able to care for, then certainly that is illegal to not care for an animal properly. It's not something you should do because it's nice and ethical. It's totally illegal to harm an animal. So if you're a vet, you would have an obligation to kind of raise it. The rest of us, whether we've got a legal obligation or not, that's a different question. But certainly, I think we've got an ethical one to raise it to the SPCA if we see that there's been animal cruelty, and if there's anyone out there isn't taking good enough care of the animal, not feeding them, keeping them, in circumstances that are cruel, that is illegal, and someone should tell the SPCA or the police about it.
You know, it takes a village to make sure that the animals in our areas are safe. It's so important for us to have that awareness. Now, if a person raises awareness about a situation involving animal endangerment to a vet professional, is that vet professional obliged to step in and perhaps get involved?
Yeah, so that's an interesting question as well. According to the kind of veterinary association, if you are registered with them, then you would have an obligation. But I think just an important thing to stress again, it's important for us to not waste the time of these organizations. So, they do get a lot of complaints where animals aren't really in danger, so that the dog barking too much next door, that's very different to the dog barking too much next door because it's been abandoned and left out alone for weeks at a time. So I think, we must always start off by just chatting to our neighbors first before we're reporting animal cruelty.
Oh, yeah, man. Look, I think it's so important that we are looking out for these furry balls of love. And I do mean that because, again, they don't have a voice of their own. And it's important, like Carl says, to have our community helping and assisting in these cases. So, Ethan, thank you for educating us and letting us know what we can and cannot do when it comes to supporting these beautiful fur balls. And, yeah, we hope that this also helped you, Mzansi, to gain a better understanding and a knowledge of how to best provide and care for the animals that are in need. But, Ethan, we cannot thank you enough for coming through. Enjoy those belly rubs. I'm talking to your dog now, not you. And have a beautiful day.
You too, guys. Take care.
Thank you so much. And now, more dogs coming through. I don't know if you have a voice for your dog, but I've got a proper voice for my dog when I chat to it. So I'm going to tell you now, we are joined by our favorite dog whisperer now. So make sure you listen up, because you're going to need to hear some of these great pearls of wisdom.
Oh, thank you, Carl. Oh, thank you, Carl. You're such a good boy. You're such a good boy. Oh, man.
He's responding.
I don't know. Okay, so we've got our dog whisperer, our animal whisperer. Karis Nafty is still here, and she has brought a superstar of a dog here. He's got the biggest, broadest smile. Is it weird that because now my son watches a show called Bluey about Australian sheepdogs, and he looks like an Australian sheepdog?
Yes.
Yeah, look. Yeah, man. Yeah. I imagine he has an Australian accent. What breed, mix of breeds?
So Sam is not a mix. He's a Australian cattle dog.
Oh.
So they're actually not the same as Australian shepherds, which is also a very common dog. This breed, yeah, they're bred to herd cattle, not sheep, which Australian shepherds are bred to herd sheep. So he does have an Australian accent. The history of this dog is so fascinating because the short version was they were basically a combination of border collies and dingoes way back in the day. Yeah, that's the story of where the breed originated from. So they're very smart dogs. They're very intense dogs. They need a lot of exercise, which is actually what we're going to talk about today, which is ways to keep in winter when it's cold and you don't want to go out. How do you keep a dog busy? Because that's also what keeps them from having behavior problems.
I was going to say, because it can lead to quite deep-rooted psychological issues for a dog that needs to, like a husky, for instance, or those working dogs need that.
They literally need, and people need to understand when they're looking for a dog to buy, you have to be prepared to meet the needs of the exercise of the dog. It doesn't matter how cute they are or what they look like on Instagram. They need a lot of exercise, and you've got to make sure you've got the time. Otherwise, they will have behavior problems, all sorts of things, yeah.
Okay. Well, Karis, let's start off with that little gadget you've got in your hand.
Well, okay, so you can buy in the shops. A great way to keep a dog busy is to use their normal meals and make them work for their meals in a fun way. So at the dog shops, you can find a million different hollow rubber toys. There's a million different brands. Now, the rubber toys on their own are very boring. It's just a bunch of rubber. But what you do with them is you take your dog's normal pellets, okay? Oh, yep, we know what that is. Hello.
Yeah.
And there's different ways to put the food inside the toy so that they actually have to work a little bit to get their food. And what it does is it makes them use their jaw and use their nose, and it kind of engages with them to, it's like a puzzle.
Thank you.
Give it to me. And it's fun to make them work for their food.
Good boy.
They actually like it. It keeps them calmer. So rather than just giving them their food for free, you can find all the different toys to get them into it. You can put a little extra fun food in there. It makes it more delicious for them.
I'm just imagining my sausage dog's face when I present him with one of these, and he's going to look at me like, what are you doing?
Oh, he's working for
And
it.
he'll start making the noise.
And then you just ignore him, and then he'll have to go and work for it. And then what's good about this is if you really stuff their food in the different toys, by the time they get the food out, they're actually tired. Because they've used their nose and they've had to think of it. It's like a puzzle. They've had to think about it. Yes,
well.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, that is so cute.
What's it? What's so cute?
Oh, good boy.
Yeah. And now Sam's looking up here because this is his favorite. Okay. So any idea what this is, guys?
It's a pom-pom.
Cheerleader
You're a cheerleader in your spare time.
Yeah, you never know, right. Okay, so this is not a bath mat. This is something called a snuffle mat.
Snuffle.
And you can buy these, you can make these, you can get them all sorts of places. If you don't have an actual snuffle mat, you can do the same thing with an old towel that I'm going to do. But the idea with a snuffle mat is it's also a food puzzle for a dog. And the idea is you hide their food in the thing so they actually have to snoofle around and find their breakfast. Hey, boy.
Oh.
And when you get a dog using their nose, they calm down. It releases endorphins in their head. It makes them so settled and calm. So the way to get a dog used to it, I'll show you quickly, is you start by you just put the food on top of it. So it's super easy for them. You don't want to make it too difficult, okay? Like no big deal.
He's got
So Sam will do it. And then once you've done that a couple of times, then you start hiding the food deep inside. And then they really have to work for it. Yeah, so you really bury it. And then it's a lot more fun for them, actually, because they like the challenge. Dogs like the challenge of things. Now, with these, there's just a couple of cautions.
Well, yes, you got it.
Sam, find it.
It's very sweet. You can see the human connection there because he's constantly looking for validation that he's done something worth talking about. You know?
And here we are on set. There's all this stuff happening, and he's busy there because it's more fun for him to snoof with his nose.
Oh.
Now, if you use this, just a couple of cautions. The one is don't leave your dog unattended with it. There are some dogs who get so excited they'll try to actually chew on the fabric. So you need to watch. Not most of them don't, but you just have to be cautious. And you must never put wet, damp food in there because it gets really puffy really soon. So it has to be dry food. Can be biltong, dog food, anything dried that they're enjoying. Did you find it?
Did you find it? Well, Karis, we also have some social media questions. So our first one that came through is, let's take a look. The question we asked this morning, do dogs eat more during winter? This is from Mark Gavin.
Mark, dogs always want to eat more, okay? If you haven't noticed, if you leave your dog, it's a compulsion. I mean, I don't ever suffer from that, but other people might. Look, there is an instinct to eat more in winter to keep a dog warm, but you don't necessarily have to feed them more unless their exercise is really going up. Sam's right at home, guys.
Sam is
now he's doing his stomach workout. That's
exactly.
He's doing some crunches.
The post-breakfast tummy scratch.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the best.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sam.
sweet boy.
Mark Gavin, thank you so much for that question.
Yes, that's a good question.
Thank you so much, Karis, for also just showing us some great ways to keep the dogs entertained, especially indoors when it's too rainy or it's not easy to go outside.
Oh, brilliant stuff. And I love the fact that we are thinking outside of the box here for ourselves and our pet. So we want you to do 3 things for us. First, make sure that your dog is warm and getting enough stimulation during winter. That's the first check. Number 2, keep them protected inside and out against nasty bugs and parasites with NexGuard Spectra. It offers the full spectrum. And then third, go give them a big, fat, warm cuddle now and every night. Come here, give a good bit of cuddles. Good boy.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso on S3, and this talented gentleman in the next couple of minutes will be giving you some WhatsApp tips and tricks. Whether you use it for business or whether you just normally use it or you don't like groups or you blue tick people, it doesn't matter. He will show you exactly how to get around all these tips and tricks. Do not worry about that. So, Grant Papa Hines will be back with WhatsApp tips and tricks in the next couple of moments. Before we get there, here's some news. Jamie Lee is standing by.
Thank you so much, boys. Few minutes before 8 o'clock, time to have a final look at those news headlines. Starting with your national news. Now, the Electoral Commission has postponed the voter registration by 2 weeks to the end of July, citing the third wave of the COVID-19 pandemic. It said the decision was made after a review of the prevailing conditions, including the rate of COVID-19 infections and hospitalizations over the past 7 days and the pandemic's effect on preparations for the registration weekend. Now, health experts told the inquiry last week that the third wave of infections was likely to persist until at least the end of the month. And then Gauteng Premier David Makura says universities have agreed to release their final year medical students to help manage COVID-19 hospital beds and administer vaccines. Now, this will complement the current healthcare personnel who have been under tremendous pressure due to the increasing hospitalizations because of rising infections in Gauteng. Now, military medics have already been deployed to complement the current staffing challenges of COVID-19 beds. Makura also encouraged the elderly to be vaccinated, and he also met 103-year-old Miriam Moache, who has been vaccinated. Now, looking to news further abroad, the charity organization Save the Children has expressed concern over the increase in COVID-19 cases among children in Mozambique. Now, its advocacy manager, Jamie Chaviti, said the number of cases for children under the age of 14 had tripled in the past 3 days. The charity has called for more decisive measures to be taken to combat the virus. He urged people to cancel celebrations involving children and for strict preventative measures to be followed in primary schools. And then Haiti yesterday declared a state of emergency after President Jovenel Moïse was assassinated and his wife wounded in an attack on their home in the capital, Port-au-Prince. Now, unidentified gunmen stormed the property at 1 o'clock local time, Interim Prime Minister Claude Joseph said. Moïse had led Haiti, one of the poorest nations in the world, since 2017, but had of late faced widespread protest demanding his resignation. The nation's recent history has been plagued by coups, political instability, and widespread gang violence. And now bringing news back home, Algoa Bay in the Eastern Province has acquired new status, which puts it along Hervey Bay in Australia, Tenerife La Gomera Marine Area in Tenerife, Spain, and Dana Point in California in the US. Now, with its large populations of whale and other cetacean populations, it joins the Bluff in Durban as one of the country's 2 globally recognized whale watching sites. South Africa now has 2 of the 4 recognized whale heritage sites accredited by the World Cetacean Alliance. Algoa Bay is known for its southern right humpback, brides, and killer whale species, and is also the bottlenose dolphin capital of the world. Now, moreover, common dolphins and Cape fur seals are frequently spotted in the bay as well. Cetaceans are an aquatic order of mammals comprising of whales, dolphins, and porpoises. Now, in 2011, Algoa Bay was declared an important bird and diversity area, and this was due to its large populations of the African penguin, which unfortunately are now endangered. On that note, that is where I wrap up your 8 o'clock news headlines. Here is G with a final look at the sports.
Thanks so much, Jamie. Let's start with the bad news first. SA Rugby yesterday confirmed that the scheduled second test match between the Springboks and Georgia has been cancelled due to positive COVID-19 cases in both camps. A review by the Medical Advisory Group confirmed that the risk of further infections made it now impossible to continue with the fixture tomorrow evening. 12 positive tests in the Bok camp have been recorded, with 4 in the Georgian camp. And staying with rugby, that did take place yesterday. The British and Irish Lions have made it 2 wins in 2 matches. That was after thrashing the Sharks 54-7 in their second line series clash in Johannesburg last night. Lions head coach Warren Gatland had to make 8 late changes because of players isolating due to the coronavirus. The visitors scored 8 tries, with wing Duan van der Merwe and fullback Josh Adams each scoring hat-tricks to seal that impressive second victory. And staying with rugby, the Griquas, who have been building towards a big scalp, they stunned Western Province 30-28 to secure their second win in the new Currie Cup campaign at a Cape Town stadium set up yesterday. So Griquas lock Cameron Lindsay scored the winning try in injury time to level the scores before fly half George Whitehead stepped up and kicked the match-winning conversion for the men from the Northern Cape. The Currie Cup action will continue tomorrow with a mouth-watering clash between the Big Cats, Cheetahs and Pumas at 4 p.m. Then on to the beautiful game, and the biggest stage of all, England will now face Italy in the Euro 2020 final. That's after beating Denmark in extra time in their semi-final clash at a packed Wembley Stadium last night. So after a 1-1 draw at 90 minutes of play, the match went into extra time before England's captain Harry Kane stepped up to score the winner from the penalty spot after Raheem Sterling, who had been dangerous all night, was brought down in the box. So the European Championship final between the Three Lions and the Azzurri will kick off at 9 p.m. on Sunday evening. Now onto a different kind of grass. Reigning champion Novak Djokovic has reached Wimbledon's semi-finals for a 10th time. That was after beating Hungary's Marton Fucsovics in straight sets last night to make it through the last 8. The 34-year-old Serb recorded an impressive straight sets victory, 6-3, 6-4, 6-4 to advance. And that means Djokovic will now face 10th seed Denis Shapovalov for a place in the final, and that's tomorrow. And then there was a major upset as Roger Federer's bid for a 9th Wimbledon title came to an end after crashing out of the tournament at the hands of Hubert Hurkacz from Poland. He stunned Federer in straight sets, 6-3, 7-6, 6-love, to book his place in the semis for the first time. That's a wrap of your sport for this Thursday morning. It looks like the weather is brewing outside, so let's get another update on our global weather perspective and see what the temperatures here in South Africa have in store.
Thank you, Graham. And once again, it's time for those umbrellas and winter woolies as another cold front is set to hit the Western Cape today. A yellow level 2 warning has been issued as the approaching front will bring with it gale force winds and heavy rain. The City of Cape Town Disaster Risk Management Services said yesterday they are ready to tackle any damage to infrastructure and assist vulnerable communities that may once again be affected by the adverse winter weather that's forecast. Disruptive rainfall and damaging winds are expected in mid-morning. High-sided vehicles on prone routes in the interiors of the Northern and Western Cape are warned of gale force winds. A similar warning for wind resulting in difficulty in navigation at sea is expected between Cape Columbine and Cape Agulhas tomorrow morning, spreading to Plettenberg Bay by the afternoon. And as many of our regular viewers have seen, we are highlighting different international cities on a Friday to learn about different languages and cultures. So for tomorrow, we are journeying to Ethiopia. That being said, we would like to make a call to any of our viewers that are based there or have visited the country. We would love to see any pictures of Ethiopia that you would like to share with us. So please head on over to Expresso's Facebook page if you would like to see your photo featured tomorrow. And bringing it back to our South African shorelines, we have some beautiful sunrise views to share from our locals. Now, the first one we did this morning, it was a moody and misty morning that Kun Mans shared with us, and that's from the Vredefort Dome Heritage Site in Potchefstroom. Then heading to the coast, Gregory Noble from Pakhalsdorp in George shared this crisp winter's morning view overlooking the mountains in the distance as the sun rises. At 7 o'clock, Joan Cameron from Britannia Bay shared her favorite view to start her day off overlooking the ocean. And last but not least, Nikki Poseidonot from Mossel Bay sent in yet another stunning sunrise, showing off some low-lying mist sitting just above the ocean. What a peaceful way to start your day, and I just want to say thank you to each and everyone for sharing their sunrise photos with us. If you would love to also share yours, you can simply head on over to the Expresso Facebook page, and don't forget, if you live or have visited anywhere in Ethiopia, to also share those images with us. Let's quickly look at your temperatures for one last time. If you're in Polokwane, a low of 5 and a high of 20 can be expected for today. Mbombela 10.25, Pretoria 6.19, Johannesburg 7 with a high of 17. If you're in Mahikeng today, 4 is your low, 22 your high. Klerksdorp 4 reaching a high of 21. Kimberley 3.22, Bloemfontein 1 with a high of 21. Sunny conditions in Richards Bay, 15 is your low, 24 your high. Pietermaritzburg 8 reaching a high of 26. Durban 16, 25, Mthatha 8, 27. A hot day can be expected in East London today, a low of 12, a high of 31. Cradock 3, 27, Gqeberha 10 with a high of 31, George 8, 24, Cape Town 11 reaching a high of 14 with rain, Worcester also rainy conditions with a low of 9, a high of 15. Strong winds are expected in Sutherland today, -1 is your low, 13 your high, and Uppington expect a sunny day ahead with a low of 5, a high of 29 degrees Celsius. Well, that's where we leave your weather on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Let's head on over to Carl and Grant to get all of those WhatsApp tips and tricks.
Thank you, Zozo. So it's over to Grant Papa Heinz to give us the update on WhatsApp, some tips and tricks. And here's some stats here. And I mean, Grant told me this now because he teaches me these things sometimes. According to Worldwide Works, 93% of South Africans between the ages of 16 and 64 use WhatsApp. So chances are, while you're watching this, you're using WhatsApp right now. You're like, yo, did you see Grant's hair? Oh my word, it's amazing. Yeah, it is amazing. That's what's happening right now. But there are some tips and tricks that you require that I think that could really set you on your way. So Grant, teach us, master.
You know, it's one of those apps that we have to use all the time, unfortunately, and I loathe WhatsApp. I hate opening up WhatsApp. It's just the notifications. It kills me. But there are a couple of things that I can't begin to explain to you how much I dislike WhatsApp intensely. But there's some things that you can do to make the experience a little bit better, and some tips and tricks that you probably didn't know. So the first one is, did you know that you can unlock your device, or you can unlock WhatsApp with biometrics?
No.
So if you've got any, so biometrics are, if you know, facial recognition or your fingerprint sensor, depending on what phone you've got.
Yes.
But if you've got any private messages, or if you use WhatsApp for business, or I don't know, your sibling is checking your phone out or whatever.
Well, banks on WhatsApp as well, so you need to protect that data, don't you?
100%. There are companies that are now contacting us through WhatsApp.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's getting bad, man. There's just WhatsApp everywhere. so you can use biometrics to unlock it, which is really cool, and it's very secure. The other thing, and I also stop adding people to groups that don't want to be added to groups.
I get added regularly. In fact, probably every day I'm added to a group. Every single day. There's always some group for like some plastic dishes or planning group for an event that'll never happen or something to that effect, and you get added.
Oh, I cannot. Right? Yeah, and then you go like, why didn't you look at the messages? Because I'm part of 20 groups. I'm like, I don't have WhatsApp in my brain. You can prevent people from adding you to groups.
How? Oh, please.
You can literally choose who you want. So there's a setting you could choose like everyone, your contacts only.
Yes.
Also, sometimes if they're not on your contacts, they're trying to add you, or the contacts that you accept. So there's a way to prevent that from happening. So do that right now. Like,
okay.
You know, which is, yeah, it's really
I know,
cool.
but I need that. I promise you. It's actually a brilliant hack. Now, obviously, groups aside, there are a couple of things where you can use it on multi-platforms, WhatsApp as well.
So, like, other one is, a lot of people don't know this, but you can use WhatsApp on your desktop.
Yes.
So it's very easy to use. You can go to web.whatsapp.com, or you can download the app, but I prefer using the browser. And if you go to web.whatsapp.com, you can just use your app and scan a QR code, and it will pop up on that browser. So you can type using a keyboard to answer everybody's inane questions and requests that they have with you on Facebook. You know, and like, I am not opening a WhatsApp group to show Facebook pictures of my baby to my family. It's not happening. Like, and people do that. I get added to those plenty of times. So anyway, so that's one way to do it. And the nice thing about WhatsApp desktop is that it's only available on one machine at a time. So other people can't access your account. If you do it on one machine and you go through to another browser and you unlock it there, it'll be closed on that previous browser, which is really cool.
That is brilliant. Also, I know this kind of, with people sending documents, especially businesses using it, on desktop, it's a lot easier to your price this just to drag and drop into the chat.
Yeah, I do that a fair amount.
Which is so cool.
We do it even with the briefs of the show. Like
this one?
Yes, this show right here. Expresso, morning show.
Love it.
So yes, and then obviously you can change read receipts. Do you know the blue tick?
Yes.
You can hide whether you've read a receipt or not, which is really cool.
I know many people who've done that. Some which you know that are here.
I do it. I don't want people to know that I'm like, oh, I see. Or you click on it by accident and you read it. Unread message means I just need to attend to it. That's what's important. And then also you can prevent automatic file downloads, so videos and files that obviously clog up your phone, waste data.
Yeah.
You know, people send you funny memes that they think are so funny. It's just a rude picture or something, and or some racist group that you got added to that you need to evacuate quickly because you're like, what is going on? And then it downloads directly to your phone, and it's just disaster. You can prevent that from happening, and that is a setting as well.
I love that one because if you look at my WhatsApp images folder, is ridiculous on my phone. It's like, there's about 7,000 pictures in there, and it's including the GIFs and the pictures and the memes and all those things. So I'm so glad that you opened my mind to this. Thank you so much, dude. You're giving us some proper hacks to use WhatsApp appropriately, and to, I mean, maybe you'd probably want to say now, get off WhatsApp, right?
Yeah, it's traumatic. We must stop. Just because you can text somebody on WhatsApp doesn't mean that they're available, okay?
There we go. A message brought to you by Grant Heinz. There's a couple of tricks. I hope you can take them down. We've got some more tech news coming up, so I want you to stick around. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Nourish your skin with Ingram's Tissue Oil and Rich Body Care range for 48-hour rich moisture. Ingram's, Your skin, your brave.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso on S3. And our fans know that here on Expresso, we are all about in the business of making people feel good. So when we found out that today's performer, Krista Jonas, will soon be walking down the aisle and, you know, marrying the love of her life, we secretly got in touch with him to find out if he has any special words to share with her for his bride-to-be. And are you ready for this? Do we need to grab some tissues? Well, we've got the words, so take a look at this.
Hey Krista, I know that it's always been one of your dreams to be on the Expresso show. So I just want to congratulate you on achieving that dream today. I know that we're living in a tough world, but don't ever stop dreaming. Don't ever stop believing. Know that God did not bring you this far just to bring you this far. Keep believing, keep dreaming. Like me, I've been dreaming all my life to marry such a beautiful woman like you. And guess what? My dream is about to come true. I can't wait to marry and spend the rest of my life with you. Ciao.
Wow! Byron, you're making her cry! You guys! We'll get you tissues.
Obviously, this is a surprise for you. You didn't expect this at all, right?
We'll grab you some tissues. Oh, goodness. Oh, okay, we did not plan the works. It was supposed to be a little surprise. I know you said you've got the countdown to your wedding. How many days? 78? 78 days to go. And I know with COVID being there, we asked you, you know, it's your wedding's in September. What COVID protocols have you had to keep in mind? Like, are you keeping the guest list small?
Really small. We can only invite 50 people.
Oh, so I'm not invited. Sorry, Zoe.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. So yeah, that's it.
It's fine. Now, obviously, Byron is watching right now, and I know with all that emotion that's going through you right now, do you have any words for him?
Do you want to say anything to your fiancé?
I call him Boo. Boo, I love you so much. Thank you for accepting me, flaws and all, and for loving me and the kids, and for being an amazing partner, but not just partner, Daddy. I appreciate you and I love you.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I think, you know what, we've turned on the waterworks. Krista, I think you are welcome to leave. Get a little bit of a tissue dab because you're about to grace us with another performance. So you're welcome to step on out. I'm quite jealous.
Right?
That's the love we need and want in our
We
lives.
did something like that on the show, and I think it's safe to say we wish Krista and Byron all of the best for their up-and-coming wedding and a happy marriage together. And yes, we are really jealous right now, but luckily she's about to perform for all of us, so there's no reason for us to be jealous anymore.
So much emotion in the studio right now. There's so much to celebrate as well, and Krista is still here, of course. Have you recovered after that? Yeah. That's like sent straight to the fields, of course. But we have another special song and another dedication. I know this one is really one that is, again, close to your heart. What exactly are you going to be performing for us?
The song I'll be performing is Make You Feel My Love. The song is dedicated to Byron, my future father-in-law.
Okay.
His mom passed away on her birthday last year. So today is her birthday and we're celebrating her 1 year heaven heavenly birthday as well.
All right.
So I'd like to dedicate the song to the Mafakala family.
All right, well, without further ado, let's celebrate the beautiful life she's lived, and let's celebrate that 1 year and take the stage away. It is all yours.
Thank you.
When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I can offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. When the evening shadows and the stars appear, and there is no one there to dry your tears, I could hold you for a million years to make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I will never do you wrong. I've known it from the moment that we met. No doubt in my mind where you belong. I'd go hungry, I'd go black and blue, and I'll go crawling down the avenue. I'll go to the end of the earth for you to make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I will never do you wrong. I've known it from the moment that we met. No doubt in my mind where you belong. I can make you happy, make your dreams come true. No, there is nothing that I wouldn't do. I go to the end of the earth for you to make you feel my love. To make you feel my
Sister, you got me so emotional. You got me in the feels, but you definitely did justice to that. It was an incredible testament to an incredible family, and I just wish you and the rest of the family and the rest of the crew and everybody else that's surrounded by your magic just the best of love. And I know we don't have to say goodbye just yet because we've got one more performance coming through from Krista. The power and the magic will continue, so don't go anywhere. Wow, that was awesome. Thank you.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. We've just heard the most recent sound check of Crystal's next performance. Oh, my word. Stick around. She is going to blow your head off. It is amazing. But we are getting excited right now about something entirely different. The 2021 Olympic Games are around the corner. Well, it's actually the 2020 Olympics, but we're doing it now. And Grant Hines joins us for a review of Olympic Games Tokyo 2020, the game.
That's right. They aren't happening, but the game is out.
Yeah, man.
And,
So, dude, what makes me so excited is the choice of disciplines that you can delve into here.
Yes.
This is really
Okay,
cool.
speaking about choices, the character designer is really cool. So this is my character that I designed. South African flag and all. You can represent South Africa, which is really cool. And then obviously, let's just jump into like a thing. These are all the different games that you can play in it. There are tons of different sports.
Mind-blowing.
Rugby sevens.
I know. I don't even know where to start. Judo would be
Actually,
quite cool.
Okay, let's try some judo. The joy of this game is that because there's so many, it's not like a game like FIFA, for instance.
Yeah,
where
it's not
very
hyper-specialized.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, when you see a screenshot of FIFA, you could mistake it for real life.
Sure.
Here, they've made it a little bit more cartoony.
A bit more arcadey,
It's
yeah.
a little bit more arcadey. And the joy is, like, you should be able to pick up and play. So I actually haven't played judo in this before, so let me show you how easy it is to kind of work this out. So grab your opponent's collar, press X, cool, shorter reach, cool, grab sleeve, press cool, that's a different thing.
Gonna make the sound effects, eh?
Okay, is that how you did judo at school? Your stamina increases.
Oh, yes, you were about to do
press
something
button,
there.
Team engage, full R1, cool.
It's like the Matrix. You're busy downloading. You're busy.
Yeah, and this is what's nice about the game, actually. So when you play FIFA with friends, it gets intense. Somebody's really good at FIFA, it gets super competitive.
Yeah.
You come to your house and you go like, I'm not playing my chum, like they're too good. This game is about like your family can play, or like you can get around and
I
just
have
jam.
a feeling it's still going to bring out the competitive nature, though. And the nice thing is, once you've dominated someone in judo, then you can move on to boxing, then you can move on to cycling.
You can do little
basketball,
Olympic. You can literally do like a little Olympic event. So you can go like best of 4 different sports and see who gets the trophy.
We've got quite an exciting Olympic challenge coming up on the show when we delve into our Olympic content. So I have a feeling this might work its way in there. Okay, you ready? Whoa, whoa. Get her, come on.
I need to throw her.
What must say? Oh, oh, nice defense.
What are you doing?
Come on, man. Come on, focus. Oh, she's defending you. Come on.
There we go.
What's
Get the
that?
Did you do martial arts? at school?
Ari, nice, man. I don't know if that's a full
I actually
point.
didn't know that judo was in the Olympics until this. So that's a good start.
It's been a sport in the Olympics for a while now. Come on.
Okay.
You got it.
No. But I mean, I understand the mechanics. The mechanics are very simple. Do you want to try a different game? Do you want to try?
Go. Yeah.
I know Graham's really into like into judo for some reason.
I love
what's
it, man.
happening?
It's quite a well-matched. Oh, she's got you. Defend. Ah, she's.
No, she'll get you.
Oh no! Nice, good defensive move.
So yeah, let's jump into another game. Let's try a different event, select event. Let's now that we've done that.
Because this is the joy of it. Sport climbing, that's cool. Can you do a 4x100 meter relay? Akana Simbine just broke the African record in the 100 meters, and I have a feeling that the South African sprint team is just going to do something special.
Look at you.
Okay.
You know why? Graham's excited. And now I've clicked.
Yeah.
Because it's sports.
Yeah,
that's
man.
why.
And there is nothing. It's the pinnacle. The Olympics is the pinnacle of sport. That's why it's so exciting.
So let's run. So I'm gonna tap. This is a PlayStation 4 game.
Okay.
I am playing it on PS5, but your PS5 is backwards compatible, so you can play PS4 games. So just so you know, it was one of those games that was actually scheduled to come out last year, but they just kind of decided now it's like we got to. Oh no!
Come on, go. You can still go. You can still go. Come on, catch her. As long as you beat the Hungarian next to you, I'm happy, dude. Come on.
What do you mean?
Come on, you got to get to her before the thing with the thing. Go.
Pass the baton. Come.
Speed up. It's saying speed up. Go.
Okay, my hand's gonna get very sore doing this.
Yeah, man. You must be a button basher. This is taking you back.
This is bad. I'm running badly. But again.
Go.
Graham,
Speed up.
People finish the race. Why are they walking?
Speed up. There we go. Now you're running like you want to finish the race at least. Nice.
How are we in the relays in South Africa?
Go.
See, it's about getting that rhythm right. See, it's not about tapping as fast as you can.
Finish.
So make sure.
Well, hey, look, you took part. You had a lot of fun. He's acting like he won it. So well done to you, man.
It's a fun game for friends and family. It's
looks
accessible.
awesome, man.
It's easy to get into. It does work on older consoles. If you've got a PlayStation 4, don't stress. You can still play it.
You can play it on your older consoles. I think what I like about this, it'll give you an opportunity to get really excited about all the various disciplines within the Olympic Games as well, and kind of adds an interactive element.
And now you can actually do judo, because clearly you really want to.
Yeah, man, and rock climb. I love that. Grant, this looks like a bag load of fun. I think you still need a bit of time to practice. Okay.
Look, I understand games. I'm not good at all of them. Especially relay races.
So let's get the name right completely. It is Olympic Games Tokyo 2020. If you're looking for another reason to get excited about the Olympics, which is just around the corner, this game might just be the answer. Okay, give it another go. Go.
We've got even something a little bit more exciting, even when it comes to the belly, and when it comes to training, when it comes to warming up, everything else. And Cole and I have got the perfect meal for you just now. We're going to get busy in the kitchen, right, Cole? We're doing something special.
Yes.
It's a spiced fruit tartan. Yeah. And we're using our hearing.
You must use your fresh accent. Tartan. It's very good, bonjour. Hello.
I love it, man. Now, look, the tartan is a perfect dessert to impress the entire family without too much fuss. And the best way to give it that timeless taste is to serve it with the Clover Classic Custard. Now, Clover Classic Custard has been a big part of a lot of warm winter feels.
Indeed.
And I feel like we're going to go into like a bit of a spice fruit type of a feel right now. Carl, so what's happening? I'm just good with apples, so you're going to have to show me
you can do the muscle. My brother, I got the muscle on the chopping, okay? So this is what you're going to do. You're going to do that. You're going to line that. So what I've done with that little bowl, okay? It's oven-proof. Don't worry about it. But
Okay,
what I've done is I've actually buttered it already. So
I was wondering what that was in there.
The beautiful thing about it is that it's got this upside-down flip thing that you do when it's finished, cooking. So I want you to do...
So everything on the bottom is actually going to end up at the top?
Correct. That is the beauty of a tartan. It's a very good... so I want you to get chopping over there and line up and be nice and decorative. I want that finesse side of you.
I'm really being delicate
Yes,
with
I
this.
can
I've
see.
got my chop on already. I don't know if you approve so far.
No, it's gorgeous so far. It looks like a work of art. Now,
I'll carry on here while you get to the good stuff.
Now
What's happening on your side?
Okay, so what I have here is essentially it's going to be a syrup that's going to make everything come together. I'm easily going to just, in the pan already, because you know the magic of TV, I've actually got a couple of these, knobs of butter.
Knobs of butter, okay.
And then I want to make sure that I get my heat on here, and then I'm going to start caramelizing. So naturally, I got some sugar over here. This is just beautiful. The sugar that I got over here, I did like a half a cup, 125. It's fine. And then the warm flavors you were talking about, this is where they come into play.
And this is what I love so much, because these spices really give that winter feel what it needs. It's that missing ingredient to kind of just get that warmth, that loving, and get winter on, man.
While that comes to temperature, now the natural stuff, cinnamon is a staple. When it comes to that warm flavors, you think about it. I'm going to drop some cinnamon in there. I'm going to also drop some nutmeg. Is like the key to so many dishes. Nutmeg is like the hidden gem.
Not too much of it, though, but just the right amount. It serves up perfection.
But I think with this one, because you want to coat those apples, you want to get this real great flavor, because the apples got their flavor on their own.
Yeah.
I think it's important for me to just jump in with that, with the nutmeg. Also, I've got some star anise, just one, because that's very pungent and powerful.
Star anise, star like aniseed, right?
Yeah, it's got an aniseed type of flavor,
I've
but
always
also
found it to have this like licorice type of a feel to the aniseed as well, but not too overpowering.
Vanilla paste, my friend. Now
you're getting fancy.
Okay, I am, because you know what? You could probably use vanilla essence.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's gonna not give you that beautiful. What I'm looking for with this is a more natural vanilla tint.
Authenticity.
I love that word, authenticity.
Authenticity. That's what we're doing right now. An authentic dessert that you can serve up in winter, inspired by the spice root itself. How's that?
All I want to do is the sugar is going to, of course, caramelize.
Yeah.
I like taking it a bit further.
Okay.
Because I want that sort of that caramel flavor. Some people, you could always just go for a normal simple syrup. Good for you, but I like taking this a little further so that you get that.
Let's go all the way, man. We're doing this right. This is the Expresso show. We don't take any shortcuts. Come on.
Not at all. The only shortcut is me. Right. So on your side, while you're cutting there, have you lined our little bowl there?
So I think, perfectly cut these apples.
You can actually use pears as well if you want.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You got me thinking now, if I could use pears, then surely I could use something like an apricot even, maybe?
You can, well, apricot's going to be quite acidic, and I think that's, but I think with those beautiful, the fruits need to hold up in the oven, because you're going to go in the oven, it's going to be, 180 degrees.
And then it's going to get all like moist and gooey and
that's That's
break
correct.
down.
So you
I
want
got
to
you.
make sure that you got something that's going to hold up nicely and not like break down and shrivel up too
Yeah.
much, because you got that base. So you're going to work on the base there. You've got
Okay.
some normal puff pastry over there, and what I want you to do is I want you to
Yes.
roll it out, because that's going to be finishing things off, and that's going to be our base, even though it's going on top. Things are
Got
upside
you.
down here, but that's the beautiful thing about a ta-ta-ta, is that it's got that, that vibe. And also I like saying it over and over again.
Ta-ta-ta, ra-ta-ta-ta.
Indeed.
And also, Carl, how fun is this? I mean, you and I bonding in the kitchen, having a bit of a jewel. It doesn't even feel like I'm cooking.
But this is what I love about cooking, is that the thing is, doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, don't care what you do, as long as you love me. That should be a song. I don't know why, but just so what I've done is the sugar has broken down beautifully. I'm almost ready to pour on your side.
I'm doing good, man. I've
Get a nice
floured up
thin
my
layer there for
roller.
me, because we're going to have to finish it off and proper do it. And then later, when we're done, that clover, classic vanilla custard is going to just be the accompaniment that will be here for the ages. It's going to be gorgeous.
It's the figurative cherry on the top of
I took it further.
this thing.
This is what I'm going to do now. Are you ready?
I am ready,
Bring that
brother.
bowl to me.
Okay.
Bring the
Bowl
bowl
is here
forth.
for you.
I want
Look
to make
at-
sure this is good.
Can we take a second to just admire that perfection
Okay, so
over
what
there?
I've done is I've taken it as far as I can, and let's pour this all over here. And what we've got is that it's beautiful. It really is. It's absolutely gorgeous.
And I can see the caramelized little crystals coming through from the sugar over there, looking
And
absolutely
then
good.
let's see if we can get this before I give you the recipe where to get it from. Let's go. So this goes over
here.
here.
Right, all right.
It's a blanket. It's a blanket of goodness that's going to go. So put the blanket over there. And then from there, the blanket, you got a knife.
Blankets on.
Knife is going to be, and I'm going to give it a little cut on the side here. So you get the cut going. And once the cut is here, this is where we're going to get very sexy with. So the cut goes.
Okay, I see why I had to roll that out.
Yes,
Makes
that's it,
sense
so
now.
thin. And then what we're going to do here is I'm just going to crimp them to make a nice little blanket. So we're going to just crimps here. Okay.
Oh, you're getting fancy, Carl. Look
And then
at
once you
you.
do the crimps there, what we do, 180 degrees, 20 to 25 minutes until it browns. You can do a bit of an egg wash if you want to, and to effect what we have. So egg washed, and you're going to pretend like I put that into the oven.
And
20 to 25
boom,
minutes.
boom,
Then you're
boom.
going to move to
Turn
here.
around. What do you have after that?
And you got this beautiful dish over here right there.
Voila.
ExpressoShow.com for the recipe. Don't forget, cut a slice of this and add some of the beautiful vanilla custard. And then you
classic
are
custard, yes,
ready to
please.
rumble, my friend. Try it. And also, say it in the kitchen as often as you can. Ta-ta-ta. I think people will love you for it.
Ta-ta-ta. Well done, brother.
Merci. Très bien.
So, we've had classic fashion from Timby, classic cars, thanks Chad, and we've seen classic hairstyles. And you, Michael? Classic.
A classic range from Clover. Timeless taste.
Made with love by Clover.
If you eat, sleep, and dream of baking, enter the Tastemaster SA's new season starting in September on SABC2. Grow your career in TV and as a baking influencer, and stand to win 20,000 rands cash plus 50,000 rands worth of premium kitchen products. To enter, share a video of you baking a wonder you've created with tried and trusted Royal Baking Powder. Upload your video and complete your application on the tastemaster.co.za website. Entries close Sunday, 25th July. T's and C's apply.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, well, listen, this is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso on S3. When Grant is here, it means we are talking tech, But today we are talking a different kind of tech because Mandela Day is coming up and Give and Gain have built tools to help raise money for the NPOs who want to help, especially from home during lockdown. One way is through gaming tools that they've implemented for streamers. Now, Grant joins us to tell us more alongside head of Sub-Saharan Africa, Yanni Smith, about Give and Gain. Good morning.
Morning.
I love this. Now, I think for a lot of people that don't know what Give and Gain is, Yanni, do you mind just giving us an overview?
Right, yeah. So Give and Gain is a global online donation and fundraising platform, specifically for any registered charity. And we make it as easy and secure for people to go from anywhere in the world to donate to a charity that they care about and make sure that that donation is secure and it's safe and it gets to the charity. We work with charities in 85 different countries currently, and we've had donors from absolutely anywhere in the world donate to a charity. A lot of them to charities in South Africa, which is great to see. And I must mention that we have proudly South African roots.
Oh, that is incredible. Listen, so you become like the central hub to make sure anyone that... I'm one of those people, I'm like, I want to do something good, but I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do with it. And Give and Gain gives people that platform.
That's right, that's right. We have thousands of charities that's already registered on Give and Gain, and so a donor would probably just search and find the charity and donate. But if they have a charity that's not yet on Give and Gain, they can simply ask the charity to join for free and then use the mechanism to donate.
There we go. And how has Give and Gain been able to give back during this lockdown period? Because it's been tough on a lot of people.
Yeah, charities globally have really struggled since lockdown started last year. A lot of the traditional money spinners like golf days and dinners, those things couldn't happen in person anymore. Yeah. So we've actually seen an increase in people turning to the internet to donate and using a platform like Give and Gain. In the last year, it's actually great to see. We've seen a 40% increase in donations coming in through Give and Gain to charities in South Africa. So people are really embracing the platform in the internet to still support their charity.
And speaking of the internet, Grant, I know you're a streamer, you're a gamer, you're a pro at this. How have you used Give and Gain?
So it's actually been really cool. I was put in touch with Give and Gain while doing charity work a couple of years ago, and I had this brainwave. When you're a live streamer, you do like notifications on stream when people donate money, and it's great because a lot of people are streaming not only video games now, they are streaming stuff on Facebook and that. So it's a similar kind of thing where if somebody donates, it triggers a live event, kind of like a telethon.
Okay.
So for my birthday for the last couple of years, I've raised money for a homeless shelter, and every year we've actually managed to raise over 40 grand for that homeless shelter, which has been great. And through these tools that Give and Gain have introduced to allow us, you can see there's a progress bar at the top of the screen. Somebody's just donated 2,000 rand. You can see it pop up live as it happens, and it's such a great way to incentivize people to give. And now Mandela Day is coming up, and Give and Gain have actually built a landing page to help gamers connect with this tool set so that they can stream for at least 67 minutes to raise money for their charity. And again, we're in lockdown right now, so it's such a cool way to go, now at home, how do I raise money? I do want to challenge people that are not only gamers to potentially think about how they could use these notification tools to stream, work out how to stream on Facebook, and just see how you can raise money for the charities of your choice using this during lockdown, because it's really, really needed right now. And I think a lot of people aren't thinking about charities because of the current situation.
Yeah.
And they're not familiar with digital tools. But do some digging. It'll take you 15 minutes, half an hour, and you'll be pretty clued up on how to really raise money for a charity that you care about on your favorite social media platform.
Right.
Well, this is quite cool. So are you basically encouraging all gamers for Mandela Day to play video games for 67 minutes?
I am. So two things.
And do it for a good cause.
I'm encouraging gamers to sign up and get involved with this, because the more money, it's incredible that I got to play video games on my birthday and raise over 45,000 rand for charity. That's an incredible thing alone.
That is
incredible.
incredible.
And that's because there's two things. The gamers that are doing it, and then secondly, people that are able to give. Go have a look and see who is doing these telethons, who is doing these live streams, and see if there's a way that you can financially contribute.
Okay.
And that's really important. Without the people that are able to give, the charities won't be able to survive, and these drives just wouldn't be
They
fruitful.
need that help. Okay, last question. How can people sign up that want to get involved?
Right, so first of all, you can check out our Twitter stream. The link to our Game for Good page would be on there. Or they can just Google hashtag Game for Good and Mandela Day, or hashtag Game for Good and Give and Gain, and it'll pop up and they'll see it there. All the instructions are on there, how to get started, where to click, how to set up your project, how to add it to your overlay.
Easy peasy.
And, you know, like you say, it's a perfect excuse to now you have to game.
It's like, yeah, dude, if you're at school, go, Mom, I have to stream for 7 minutes.
Do your good deed for Mandela Day. Yanni, Grant, thank you so much for joining us, and make sure you check out Give and Gain, because we're going to do some good things for Mandela Day.
Of love.
Well, listen, we've got dogs in studio, we've got Rusk in studio, and it's only fitting that our would you rather question this morning is a hungry dilemma involving both. So here is your scenario, okay? You drop your last Rusk and your dog comes running for a bite. Rah, 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 rah.
Is
Now,
that
my
your
dog-
dog? What kind of dog do you have? What's the
My
breed?
dog is sick. My dog is sick, guys.
The dog needs to go to the vet. Your dog should be okay. No.
You need to speak to Karis Nasty right now. But listen, here's a moment. Would you rather A, Shayman, share the Rusk with your dog, or B, no ways, that's my Rusk, thank you very much. What would
First
you
of
do?
all, if the dog came at me like,
Yeah.
I'd probably just let it have the Rusk.
Yes.
Like, just take it
And lock it into a room or something so that you don't get hurt.
Wait for it to poo the parrot out that it ate as well.
Yes, can you imagine that? Scare your kids.
What would you do? You know, my dog, my furry love ball
Our
is...
dog.
Your furry love ball.
My furry ball, he's on a strict diet, okay? So I give him
100%,
only the
yeah.
best. Yes, he eats just like me. So I don't allow him to have anything that's not dog food. So I'll unfortunately have to take it away from him.
Okay.
Yeah, like I also am very, very like strict on treats and things like that. We've covered so often on the show how important it is to do that, but I suppose it depends. If he gets a lick in first and then he claims it. Depends if he claims it first. Out of the
dogs?
Cole, you
are you going to stand in the way of the...
I have a pack coming at me, going blah, 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 blah. So I have to really keep my wits about myself with that. The thing is, there's a reason why it's called a Rusk. Because the dog will come up to you and go, Rusk.
Rusk.
Yeah, they actually say it. And then you're like, you spoke. And then you get so excited.
I'd give it the Rusk.
You do a little, but it's a little sticky. Because I know that sugar and dogs don't mix. And any other treats that have like nutmeg in it and that sort of thing, just like be careful. So, yeah.
Definitely
So
not.
none of those things. I will probably give it a couple of crumbs so it's got that little, and then it looks back at me and goes, Rusk. That's fine. But that's about it. So yes, I might share the treat, but not the whole treat. Couple of flavors of it, because I mean Oma's Rusks are incredible. I don't want any human or any sentient being to not be without that flavor.
And I feel you. And I also wanted to say that you're lying, because I'm actually
Wow, that was
your
quite-
dog's godmother. You don't know this, but I'm the dog's South
here it
African
comes.
godmother. And so Hawken just has his face. Hawken does this like, oh, and you're just like, so I've snuck him a few treats before.
Oh,
I'm so
my
sorry,
word.
Ral. I had to
She does that even on the hikes, though. When you're out in front, she goes
I'm
at the
like-
back. She goes,
Don't you
I
think
keep wondering
that's why he
why
loves
he
me?
doesn't love me so much anymore.
He
You're like,
loves me whenever he sees me. He's like, oh yes, I'm getting food. I don't have to do this like plant-based, vegan diet, whatever my...
To watch Jamie when she comes to your house with your kids. She'll give them dessert
word.
before they finish the veg.
You're that auntie, I get you.
Sure.
I'm the cool aunt. I'm the cool mom. I had to do it. You know what I mean?
It also makes sense why Hawken is starting to sound like this. Because of the treats.
This all
Anyway.
makes sense. Well, look,
The
Mzansi
turkey
also
dog.
has something to say about this topic, so let's see what you all had to comment on social media. We're starting with Nadine Spreet, who says, I give the Rusk to the dog and get myself another one. Sharing is caring. Okay, found a little best of both scenario there.
So Loana says definitely be and give him his own treats. Always have more of my dog treats. Different kinds already. I don't see why I don't enjoy my last Rusk alone. But you know that part when it's that last Rusk and you're just eating it? What are you going to do? That dog is looking at you now thinking...
What if it's Hawken and he gives you the
I'm
eyes?
just thinking of my one-year-old who eats like this. It literally, so whatever I say actually means nothing, because my one-year-old supplements my dog's entire diet with whatever she's...
At least you only have to worry about one meal then a day.
Yeah, exactly, man.
2 birds, 1 stone.
In fact, I can just leave her on the floor next to the dogs and they just do their own thing.
And then Mersha saying, A, love sharing with my dogs, and Chantal de Goede. I'm used to sharing with our dog.
With an
It's
exclamation
very
mark.
difficult to not share with your dog, though. They give that puppy face and those eyes. How do you say no? We've got some more coming through there. I see Sean says, I definitely have to share my doggy. So that'll be a, we can't argue with you.
How can you resist that face?
It's such a little
That he looks
cute.
like he's asking for it.
Oh, very
But I
sweet.
absolutely love it, man. I mean, clearly we found our kryptonite. This is definitely our weakness. I think A is going to be the answer for everybody. But tomorrow is the day where we finally announce who's walking away with the 12,000 Rand Smeg Hamper courtesy of Omar Rusks. And I know Mzansi is listening quite attentively to this one, because if you haven't entered, then you need to do it right away, because any of our Omar competitions over the last few weeks which have had your name on it will be running too. So you could be called out on this competition. And all you got to do is make sure you watch out for this, because you do not want to miss out on this epic, epic winter prize, yeah?
Anytime is dipping time when it's with the ones you love.
The rich taste that says you've arrived. Uyigakara. Living a life of illusion. Leaving your finances on the rocks. In this world of Bazotina Bantu, do you want a bank that takes your money, or a bank that takes your money seriously?
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, welcome back. We are back once again on the Expresso stage with singer and just all-round awesome human being, Krista Jonas. And it's been a morning filled with emotions. There's been tears, there's been laughter. She has blessed us with her talents. Now, I want to make sure that there's no, like, low-hanging lights above your head, because your head is about to go like this. She is sending us into the rest of the day and maybe starting the weekend a little bit early with a powerful rendition of Adele's record-breaking 2010 smash hit, Rolling in the Deep. This is going to blow you away. Take it away, sister. Woo!
There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching a fever pitch and it's bringing me out the dark. Finally, I can see you crystal clear. Go ahead and sell me out and I lay your shit bare. See how I live with every piece of you. Don't underestimate the things that I will do. See, there's a fire starting in my heart. It's reaching a fever pitch and it's bringing me out the dark. Say, the scars of your love remind me of us. They keep me thinking that we almost had it all. The scars of your love, they leave me breathless. I can't help feeling we could have had it all. Rolling in the deep. picture and it's bringing me out the dark. Finally, I can see you crystal clear. Go ahead and sell me out, and I'll lay your shit bare. Then see how I live with every piece of you. Don't underestimate the things that I will do. See, there's a fire starting in my heart. It's reaching a fever pitch and it's bringing me out the dark. The scars of your love remind me of us. They keep me thinking that we almost had it all. The scars of your love, they leave me breathless. I can't help feeling we could have had it all. You had my heart inside of your head, and you played it, you played it, you played it. We could have had it all. You had my heart inside of your head, and you played it, you played it, you played it, you played it to love. Big, yeah, 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 yeah,
Oh, that was okay.
Amazing.
That was all right,
I feel
eh?
like you need to show us what you were doing.
I was just okay. So, Krista, this is what you made me do. Okay, this is my invite to your wedding.
No, the best part about this entire performance, while the rest of us were losing our minds,
yes,
Jamie was just sitting there in absolute awe and wonder. Like,
I can't believe that the sound is coming out of her mouth and she's just like next level.
Oh,
The
man.
Jonas Brothers have lost their system. Yep. We go.
Yeah, that was spectacular. And for the gents in the polo necks as well, we get your swag. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much.
Well done, guys.
Absolutely beautiful. We wish you well on your nuptials and everything that's coming your way. I've a feeling that some greatness is headed your way, so thank you so much. Please take a bow.
Yes, indeed.
Ollie,
Here's the thing, I wonder if she's going to sing for her own wedding.
she's going to have to.
Jamie, you're going to sing for her wedding.
Yes.
No, she should sing Ella James at last. Please give us a just at last.
At last, my love has come along. My lonely days are over.
Big congratulations to you as well, my brother.
Let's go,
You're going to be the most amazing dad ever in the world. We love you guys. Look at that little... Oh, that is so special. You're going to be an amazing, amazing dad. Please give our love to Amber as well. We love you guys at home. We'll see you tomorrow to kickstart the weekend, baby. Adios.
Love you so much.
Say it with steaming hot breakfasts, soul food Sundays, and slow-cooked dinners that will warm any winter. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.